So.
Yeah, because editing is so goddamn easy. You know, it's
Well,
like a magic thing. It doesn't. It's not like I sit here covered in sweat, pouring my heart and soul into editing these fucking podcasts for you.
It's not my fault.
Like a goddamn joke.
You're down south where it's fucking 8,000 degrees out.
I just think you guys are being really fake right now.
No, we're not.
I don't know how to be
haven't
fake.
Haven't you heard us?
I didn't know.
This is exactly the same shit.
All
that
of
we've
me
been
is
saying this
real.
whole
I am
time.
100% real. I have no fake limbs, nothing. I am 100% real man. I'm all man, baby!
Yeah, you're like 90%.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway.
Close enough.
How much of this stuff do I pour in, Kevin? To say
tell you
when.
when.
Say when.
That's
Oh,
good. Depends.
pretty.
That's
Why
that's
it's
definitely
purple.
enough.
You are
Depends
you are
how sweet
pouring,
you like it.
You are by choice pouring purple, whatever the fuck, into your drink.
Well, Kevin has this like
Hope you like
tasty
the taste
drink.
of perfume,
Okay, all right.
which was one of my recommended topics.
Oh, you brought topics. Thank you for actually contributing this time around.
What do you think?
I think
Did you
it's-
just
I
ruin
like
a
it.
glass of prosecco?
No, it's good. It's tasty. I like
Ah,
sweet
hold on a
stuff.
second.
Very
No,
much
what?
a dessert.
Before we get into what everybody's drinking, first of all, let me welcome everybody to the new episode. This should be technically episode 10, but because we're so bad at planning, this is going to be, what, episode 9.5, 9.1?
Yeah, I think like no 9.5. I mean,
9.5? Okay.
yeah, I don't know if another one's happening before 10. That
Well,
would
we
be-
wanted to do something special for episode 10, but it's been, what, a month, and we haven't put shit together.
Oh, so you poured a whole bunch more in there than I did.
Okay, all right. So anyway, so really quick, yeah. So we'll just say this is episode 9.5 or whatever. And as usual, we're gonna start like really quick, going around the table. And by the way, this time it is a table because actually all three of us are in the same place. We are all sitting here facing each other. You got Skippy to Jerry to Kevin, within arm reach of each other. So there's gonna be touching. It's gonna be a little bit light touching. Okay.
That's
All right.
nice.
So we're gonna start
I
first of
have
all.
HR on speed dial.
Sweet, Kevin. What are you drinking this week?
Actually, I am HR. I'm drinking grocery store prosecco with a splash of creme de violette.
Okay, for those of us who are not classy, and Lord knows I've drank some really classy things on this podcast, what is creme de violette?
A made-up word that you don't know how to pronounce.
Wow. Okay, good. All right. Is it, what is it? I'm
It's
trying to read the
purple.
label. It's floral liqueur. I don't know what that means.
It's a liqueur of violet, which is an edible flower, but it's French. No, it's Austrian, and so it's pronounced
You know,
creme de violette.
you can't
because-
make that kind. You can't
because I'm
You
pretentious.
shouldn't confuse those two things. It's not like saying. It's not like when I drink wine, I'm like, I don't know, this wine is either from Jersey or Delaware.
I mean-
Those are Austria and France are two very different things.
I imagine that the Austrians pronounce it creme de violette, although it sounds French to me, but violets are a very nice edible purple flower.
Okay, and you mix it with prosecco. You said.
I do.
If you have to
I don't know what
describe,
other people do.
if you have to describe
Probably
the flavor,
tastes really good on ice cream.
Ooh, yeah.
we don't have any ice cream.
It's floral.
This is the worst meetup ever.
You
We have
suck.
crappy purple liquor and no ice cream. All right, Jerry, what are you drinking?
I
What do you
was kind
think?
of interested in what Kevin was drinking, so right now I'm drinking the same thing.
You
What
got
do you think of it?
wait? You got a glass full of purple shit?
Yeah, I got glass
Oh.
full of purple
I
shit.
guess we're out of Sunny D. Cool. All right. Okay.
But I just finished the New Belgian triple, which was very tasty, like seconds ago.
So you started with beer and moved on to liquor.
I hope
Yes.
you have a
Okay,
strong
so-
stomach.
Yeah.
because
So you want to be bent over later.
Quite a joke.
Oh,
I mean, like over the
that-
toilet.
is
I'm
that
sorry.
a promise?
I'm saying willingly.
Is that a promise?
I don't mean like for things that you need consent for. I mean like over the toilet.
Uh huh.
Ew, man, it's gonna be brown and purple. That's the
Oh,
stuff.
shit.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is already going great. So, Kevin, you mentioned you have some lists you want to talk
Wait,
about
what
today.
are you drinking?
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am drinking a rusty nail, so I'm drinking the best thing today. For those who don't know what a rusty nail is, you're missing out. It is a combination of Scotch and Drambuie, and Drambuie is actually just really aged Scotch. Is this aged Scotch or aged whiskey?
I
Or
believe
is
it's
it
Scotch.
whiskey? I think it's aged Scotch that has
Let
heather.
me Google that for you.
Heather honey. Whoa. We are a DuckDuckGo family. Okay? Do not bring that shit into
This is
my
correct.
house and fucking keep Google out of my house.
This
all
is
right?
correct. Let's support that.
I don't know what your family does, Kevin, but yeah, we value our privacy here, which is why I'm recording all this and then putting it on the internet. Yeah, so Drambuie, it's made in
It's made from
Scotland.
Scotch whiskey, honey, herbs, and spices.
Heather honey. It has to be heather honey. I'm only saying
Wait,
that because
isn't henna a flower too?
I don't
So
know.
you're drinking a flowery drink also.
Oh, okay. So this is healthy and organic, but it's not purple, so you know it's good for you. Anyway, so Rusty Nail, highly recommend to anybody that actually has never tried it before.
I think they're tasty. I had some last night, and I'll probably have one later on too.
Okay. All right. So
After the break.
we have a bunch of things to talk about. First of all, since we're constantly behind in entertainment things, actually I want to start with Spider-Verse because Kevin finally saw Spider-Verse, and we've been trying to sell him on this for like ever as this incredibly beautiful work of art. Best movie ever. I've seen it.
I never
I
doubted it for a second. I just didn't get around to watching it for a while.
Wait, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt, but now it's been so long, I don't even remember the last episode. Had you even watched Spider-Verse, the last episode? Because I don't know if
That
you
is
did.
an excellent. I don't know.
Because you didn't see it in the theater.
No, I did not. I did not go to theaters
Yes, I understand that.
because they smell like popcorn and.
They're cold.
We had our first
Disgusting.
date in a theater, so I'm kind of touched.
Yes.
That you did.
Well,
that
here's the thing.
for
Yes.
me.
So yes, our friendship technically began in the back of a theater, and since then
This is
I
new to
can't
me.
I can't possibly replicate that
Amazing
euphoric
movie? I mean, sorry.
like experience. So I don't go to theaters anymore because why bother?
Even with your wife?
No, my wife doesn't like movies in general. She doesn't. I don't think she's even seen Spider-Verse. Seriously, that's how behind she is. She's terrible. She watches like educational things,
Oh, what's wrong with
documentaries.
her?
I don't know. She's known for making bad decisions. Anyway, so
She
Spider-Verse.
married you.
Yeah, well,
So.
yeah, well, we've all, lost bets. So, so Spider-Verse, yeah, I know this is way behind. Like Spider-Verse came out like last year or something like that.
Yeah, last Christmas.
Yes,
So-
but because I don't, like I said, yes, I don't go to theaters. I waited to see it on Netflix. I finally made Kevin watch it, and he's still shaking. Look, see, I can touch him. He's shaking.
Uh-huh.
They're shaking.
I'm calling HR right now.
Oh my! I thought you were HR.
I am. That's how I can call them so fast.
Very nice. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. What I checked just for shits and giggles how much money Spider-Man movies have made because I don't even think it's a contest. I think Spider-Verse is by far and away the best. It's the best Spider-Man movie,
hands down.
and absolutely, and it is one of the best Marvel movies. So it really upsets me the fact that like even like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans or those horrible Andrew Garfield made like hundreds of millions of dollars. Some of them actually broke $1 billion, like the newer ones. Spider-Verse, yes, they broke billions of dollars. They made like something like $700 million domestically. Spider-Verse made $190 million in this country and only like not even like 300 million worldwide. It's still a hit, but it's a fraction of the other movies.
It's because it has that animated stigma.
But
to
here's
it.
the thing. But then Pixar basically puts out Toy Story 75 with the same bullshit, boring
I
story.
hear they make some money.
Yeah, Pixar. Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
doing too bad. Well, they're all, yeah. Now I don't know if it's the Disney effect because Pixar is owned by Disney. Well, everything is owned by Disney, but
Is Spider-Verse owned by Disney?
Spider-Verse is, well, it's weird. Technically, Spider-Man is owned by Sony, which is why there's so much Sony crap in that movie. But they now have a partnership with Marvel. I don't know how that stuff breaks down, but technically, no. This is kind of like a Sony thing. So was it like not marketed well? It can't just be that it wasn't a huge hit because it was animated. Animated movies are huge on a constant basis. Plus, this thing won the fucking Oscar for the best animated movie for the
Yeah.
year.
Well, they didn't promote it.
Is that it?
No,
I mean,
I think it
Spider-Verse
was.
wasn't heavily promoted.
I think it was promoted. I remember seeing
It's
plenty of.
promoted, but was it heavily promoted the way that Marvel movies are or Pixar
Yeah,
movies?
probably no.
Like they get merchandise like when the movie's still being filmed. You know,
Yeah.
you have merch coming out.
And I don't remember what else came out at that time. Like maybe Box Office Mojo would know, but it
If it
came
was-
out
If it was
during
last Christmas?
yeah Christmas. So I know Mortal Engines, which bombed, so that's really not a factor.
Nobody went to see that.
The Transformer movie was
Actually,
out,
the last
so-
one didn't do too well either.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know what else came out. I mean, I remember going to see Spider-Verse because I had been waiting to see that for a while,
Yeah.
and it was, honestly, it's just such a fucking good movie. I can watch it over and over and over again. I have.
I don't think I can really say too much about it. I really think it's absolutely amazing from start to finish. So I don't know. It's a travesty that more people have not seen this. But they are making a second one, so that's good.
That's I can't wait. I hope they do it as well as the first one.
But now I'm nervous.
Kind of
It's hard.
How do you build on perfection?
Yeah, they knocked it out of the ballpark, the first one. I don't know what's going to happen with the second one. But
well, what was your favorite thing about Spider-Verse? Like
the visuals.
The animation.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really well written. Everything about it was great. The acting was great. The
around.
writing was great. The story was all right. I mean, whatever. But in general, it flowed great. The pacing was great. Just the music was awesome. Just everything about it. It had just the right balance of emotion, humor, action, everything. It didn't feel like it sort of used anything as a crutch. And yes, the animation, the art style, the color, just everything was so beautiful. I keep saying literally you can take that movie and freeze it at any point, pause it, and it looks like a work of art.
I enjoyed how they kind of integrated comic book aspects of it and in certain spots, and it just added to the look and the feel of it and everything.
The framing,
especially the what's up danger when he jumps and
that's
the 4 or 5 frames, and it was just
I don't know if you noticed, but that scene where he is sort of like that switch is flipped and he actually becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
When he jumps off the building, that really beautiful scene where he kind of jumps and it's like he's jumping into the city.
Yeah, I heard you both got goosebumps.
Oh yeah. I still get emotional every time I watch that scene. Just that everything, from the sound to the visual to just when you hear his uncle talking about it, just everything. That scene is just perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
I mean, we're all men here. I take it out and I touch myself. At that scene. So
that doesn't make you a man. That just makes you Jerry.
You can just talk about it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get
if you could take it out
during that scene, and I just
really.
It was a phenomenal scene, but I was just thinking the whole time this is what makes them feel emotion. This is what it takes. I was like,
well, what do you expect men to feel emotion? I don't understand. Is it children or happiness or special family connection?
Caterpillars?
No. Yeah. No, it's amazing.
That was the scene.
Yeah, that was the scene.
That's what does it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know.
It's everything. It's
it was
the
an excellent
visuals,
scene. I just didn't get goosebumps until the end.
It's
of
just
it.
the music. Yeah, the music builds up. You hear quotes from his dad and his uncle.
The music during that scene was phenomenal. The music during that scene.
And
really
here's the
was
thing.
very
I actually
well
think
done.
the character, what's his name?
Miles
Morales. You actually don't realize it, or maybe you don't know, but you actually become very attached to him. He's very well developed. He's somebody you legitimately care about.
He's an awkward kid.
Yeah, when he fails or when he succeeds, you kind of feel that connection. You feel it's a cartoon character that you feel an emotional connection to. Or maybe I did. I don't know.
I felt the strongest emotional connection to Aunt May. What does that say about me?
Oh my God.
No. You know what? Okay. Aunt May is kind of cool. She's cool. She's
just kind of cool?
Yeah, she's sitting there, sipping it, and she's like, what the fuck?
She's only cool because of Spider-Man, though.
Excuse me?
What?
She's what? Her house, her hobbies, her books.
Okay, wait, we're thinking she's cool for different reasons.
Did you watch some weird director's cut? I did not see any of this.
And, she lets her weird-ass nephew, build a hideout in her shed.
It's not her nephew. She raised him as her son, basically.
Okay.
Which, by the way, credit well done to her. I mean, she did a phenomenal job. Sure, she couldn't keep her husband alive, but whatever. Anyway, but I mean, no, she technically raised Spider-Man. Although technically he kind of became his own because he had to hide his identity from her for the longest time.
Did you see the needlepoint that she had hanging up in the back? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. She's cool. She has shit to do.
Is she ever gonna do it?
Wait, does Aunt May doesn't do needlepoint?
We don't know. They don't explore the character that much. As far as I know, she just goes, for some reason, into the Spider-Man cave, sits there with a cup of tea, and waits for Miles Morales to show up.
Maybe
she's when he gets there, she's down there, she's like, took you long enough. She had no idea he was coming. Why was she down there drinking tea all weird in the dark?
She did know he was
cultured.
Coming. She knew.
Cultured?
No. She's
wait. If I go sit in a dark hole in the ground drinking tea, that makes me cultured. No, it makes me the Unabomber.
Oh, she was just being a good host because she had all the spider people there.
No, later, when he shows up to get a spider suit, right? All of them are out doing their shit. He finally, something clicks. He goes to pick up the spider suit,
In
right?
Oda-
He goes
yeah.
into the shed. He goes down the elevator. Aunt May is sitting there sipping tea, going, "Took you long enough. Why the fuck is she down there drinking tea?"
I mean, that's what I'd be doing. That's why I'm saying I felt the strongest connection to Aunt May. When would you not drink tea?
I feel like there's a
Now
lot
I'm
about you,
drinking
Kevin, that I
alcohol.
don't know. I feel like there's a backstory to you that I want to learn more about, but I'm also kind of scared to know it.
Well, it's very similar to Aunt May, or is it?
Okay, all right. I don't know. I'm gonna start checking random holes in the neighborhood, see if you're drinking tea in them. There's no good way.
Under the shed with
Yeah.
the bunnies, drinking tea.
I'm gonna walk out in the middle of the night, and Kevin's gonna be sitting in my backyard with tea. Took you long enough. Why are you still here? The podcast was over hours ago.
Maybe that's just one of my hobbies.
Well, maybe I'm gonna call the cops. Anyway, so look, Ame is cool. I mean, I like her, but I don't even remember how we got on this topic. I think you were trying to say something like she's in it. Maybe they can do an Ame spinoff for you.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that.
Really?
I would
All right, you should
watch
definitely.
it. I would write it. I would live it.
You do.
I
live
might
There's a
already.
song like,
I might
"Hey,
currently
what's up,
be
needlepoint?"
living it.
it.
Listen.
As Kevin jumps off the roof of
You-
my house. slowly.
With needles, two needles, like, wah, wah, wah.
You know, like vulgar needlepoint is a huge thing right now.
I
Right?
do not.
Wait, okay.
What is vulgar
Yeah,
needlepoint?
please explain this,
What is
Kevin.
vulgar
I've
needlepoint?
never heard of this.
What
Is
is
that like
vulgar-
your needle pointing, like, fuck you and stuff? Or
That's like what the teenagers
Oh,
do.
okay. I don't know.
Like, there's like
I can't relate to teenagers. I'm also not
it
legally
gets.
allowed to be
I
near
mean,
them.
it gets a lot more risque than the F word, but yes, there's a lot of really. I can pull some up on Instagram right now.
No, well, we won't be able to
Vulgar
see it.
needlepoints.
Our one listener is going to be very confused.
Well,
but maybe
yeah,
we could
it's like.
describe. So, okay, she has her leg up here. No.
That's what it is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there have been some like phenomenal genitalia needle points executed.
I don't want to hear the words genitalia and needle
Snarky-
point in the same sentence ever again.
Snarky witticisms utilizing the best swear words
Really?
on needlepoint.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I could see Aunt May doing that kind of stuff.
I mean, granny crafts are really hot.
Sorry, just that granny crafts are really hot.
I mean, that
Okay.
that could be a
Hold on.
needlepoint.
Hold on.
Phrase in
I want to
itself.
check Pornhub for that category.
No,
I want to go to Pornhub.com and check
And
for
I'm sure
granny
you'll find
crafts. Yeah, probably.
So, okay, I read an article. And I was flipping through my Google News feed this morning because you like slept super late, and there's in I don't know, in the UK somewhere, there's this 65-year-old dominatrix who charges men $150 an hour to clean her house, and she has them like dressed up in maid outfits, and they're wearing like little piggy masks, and she's like whipping them and being like, "You missed a spot," and they're like, "Oh, thank you, mistress, thank you," and they're paying her money to clean her house.
You know your Google Newsfeed is kind of tied in algorithmically to your search history, right?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think Google does. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so Kevin found a picture of one of these vulgar things, and it's
not even that vulgar.
Oh yeah,
but it's a pic. Well, describe it. So it's a picture of a clam, and it says "jam out with your clam out."
Yeah, but that's like not even.
Very nice.
I've seen way more vulgar varieties of that. Like just.
So once again, I am very curious about both of your search histories, but at the same time, also terrified.
No, it just kind of like pops.
So
up
Kevin's
on-
like Googling this plus best type of tea to drink alone in the dark hole, and Jerry's over there Googling dominatrixes in England that also have denters. Guys, we need to plan a vacation together. That's all I'm saying.
You know, hey, I've been trying to do that for ages, but hey, yay, we're all here.
Yes,
in the same
it
place.
is awesome in the same
At the same time.
This is
Cheers.
Awesome. Speaking of backyards, so Kevin, I noticed there's some hobbies in here also that you listed that you wanted to touch on that are pretty interesting. So, where do you want to start? We have okay.
I feel like Skippy, you'll have a lot to say about cow killer ants and other things that can kill or maim you in the South. Since are we calling this like the Southern edition?
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, we didn't even need a number for this. It didn't even need an episode number. It could have been like a special Southern edition of the podcast.
Oh, you could do that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, you could do it like 9.5, but you can make the 5 like an S. I think that's what the cool kids do nowadays or something.
Is that like V2?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Version 2.1?
I don't know. I can't keep up with the children. They're way too fast for me. So cow killer ants and other things that can kill you or maim you in the South. Yeah, so okay, so Kevin, you told me a while ago about this thing called a velvet, I would say velvet.
Red velvet ant.
I almost said velvet underground ant. Okay, not the okay. Nothing to do with Iggy Pop. Yeah, nothing to do with Iggy Pop. The red velvet ant,
Iggy Pop, isn't that Lou Reed?
What?
Was Iggy Pop in the Velvet Underground?
Iggy Pop, yeah, it's like...
I did not know that. I thought it was Lou Reed and some other dudes.
No, that was a whole movement. That was a whole, like, lifestyle. Like, it was a whole thing.
The Velvet Underground
No,
was
just a band.
A band.
Yeah, there was,
the
yeah.
movement?
You know what, if anyone actually knows what it is, they're probably screaming inside their face right now because I'm getting it wrong. But no, Iggy Pop was definitely somehow connected to the Velvet Underground. Because it was also David Bowie. It was Iggy Pop, David Bowie, and somebody else. And I think Jerry's looking it up.
I would like to know about that. Maybe we can talk about it on the next podcast after we've done some research, so we don't make people's heads explode.
Oh no, we always make person's head
true.
Explode. Yeah, that's true. If we only have like one listener and that person's head has exploded, then we really don't have anyone listening.
Okay, so you know what? I decided to Google it really quickly because I was really curious. Here's all the members of Velvet Underground: Lou Reed, good call, Kevin; John Cale, Sterling Morrison, Angus McLeese. Oh man,
I don't know.
Mo Tucker, Doug Yule, Walter Powers, Willie Alexander. Wait, but Iggy Pop was definitely somehow connected to the. No, it was, but I feel like there was some connection to.
Maybe they collaborated.
Interesting. I'm definitely missing out something, or maybe I'm just ignorant. Anyway, somehow connected to Andy Warhol as well. Fuck that guy. So, okay.
He did the banana cover art for the Velvet Underground's album, I believe.
I can't have a person
mistaken.
that much more knowledgeable and intelligent
You
than me on this podcast. This podcast is supposed to be made of dumb
All I'm saying
guys.
is the cover art features a banana. How do you not know about it?
I do know. Actually, I do know exactly what you're talking about. I just did not make that connection. Also, man,
I was kind of guessing there about him doing the banana because it looked like his style. I'm not 100% on that.
I feel like when Kevin is the smartest person in any
I'm pretty
podcast,
sure that
everyone else on the podcast who just killed themselves. Yeah. Okay. So back to the cow killer ants. So there's.
Can we talk about how shitty Andy Warhol is? Can we have a podcast about what a shitty?
We
shitty
can
person
because
is?
technically I hate
That's
Andy Warhol. I absolutely despise Andy Warhol.
Actually, we should have a whole podcast about like shitty artists and
you know what you do?
Historical figures who are actually shitty that we learned.
You should have a 15-minute podcast about how shitty Andy Warhol is. If you get high five.
Wow.
You didn't. Don't pretend like you know what we're talking about.
15 minutes of agita.
Maybe nice
reference.
Okay, let me walk all this back. Yes, I hate Andy Warhol. I hate people who think he was a great artist. Andy Warhol was not a great artist. I'm sorry, he was not. Just fucking deal with it. Andy Warhol was overrated garbage. So, and anyway,
did you hate him enough to shoot him?
Whoa.
Wow. Way to implicate him.
Yeah, seriously.
Jeez.
It's a movie.
Do you see this? That means this is being recorded. Right? You know that.
You never heard about the movie I shot Andy Warhol?
Oh, the feds are at the door.
Well, goodbye.
If only Aunt May had a shed.
I'm not 100%. I am not 100% sure I'm in this country legally. Right? So let's keep this, civil. Anyway, look, I'm not going off about Andy Warhol because I just don't have the time for it. I really don't. I feel
like there could be an entire podcast series about shitty.
I kind of feel like there probably have been entire podcasts about Andy Warhol. I'm sure we're not the first ones.
Andy Warhol's just the tip of the air. Picasso.
And then you get into like modern art. It's like
what's his name? Splatter paint guy.
Yeah.
Pollock. Oh, Pollock was a piece of shit.
I mean,
and I'm sorry. Pollock is okay. Again, Pollock is straight up garbage. Like, I'm not talking about as a person. I actually don't know them. I know there's a whole thing about him, and there's a great movie with Ed Harris about him, which I will never watch because I think Pollock is just crap. It's like the epitome of shitty modern art. It's a completely untalented person who just literally did nothing but splatter paint on the canvas.
No, it's like
And
I do that to my toilet every time I eat too much Taco Bell. I'm not getting like $8 million for this shit, literally.
I
want to be.
By the way,
I am so glad I left that. I'm so
sorry.
glad I put a camera in my toilet.
I
I'm
had
also
Taco
going to
Bell
send you a
last
cleaning
night.
bill. That'll be for about $8 million. No, Pollock, come on, man. You're really trying really hard if you define something.
And
if you define Pollock as a good
I want
artist.
to point out that I love and promote and also practice non-objective and abstract art in my own life. So it's not.
Well, so does Jerry
it's not
apparently,
against-
except in
except
his
he
friends'
uses-
bathrooms.
has a different.
I'm sorry. How many works of art have you created in your own house, Jerry?
Oh, plenty. Like that? Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, is this one of those like, oh God, if only you had a black light situation?
Oh, that too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay.
Why did I let
You know what
why
that
did I
was?
let either one of you into my house?
Jackson Pollock. I'm happy that Jackson Pollock exists.
Why?
If it was only for that one joke
Oh.
in Guardians, because
Granted.
I got a good laugh at that.
Okay, fair enough.
And you know what? His existence was okay for setting up that joke.
That's fine.
But that's the only good thing that
It's
came out of
perfectly
his
fine that
existence.
he was a shitty person that probably raped women and completely was a piece of shit human being.
Okay,
Just for that one
maybe-
joke.
Maybe minus the rapiness.
Well, that's alleged. Anyway, we were talking about ants.
Yes.
How the hell did we get from talking about
Because we went
Because
horrible
we're that
insects to
That's
to Jerry destroying my toilet?
that's why this podcast always lasts 3 fucking hours, even though we're like, oh, this time we're gonna get it in under 30 minutes.
I want to point this out once again. I would like to share this. This is the list that Kevin made for this podcast.
Uh-huh.
Okay? It is about 5 times as long as a regular checklist.
Yes.
And he thinks that we're somehow going to get through this
We've gotten
in
through
under a week.
1.1 topics.
Yeah.
You could cross off the Spider-Verse one, and now we're on ants.
And we only got through Spider-Verse really quick because we agreed on it.
Yeah, really, it's true.
Okay. All right. You know what? Okay. I'm going to
So-
put a cap on this whole artist thing. I want to talk about these fucking ants because today was the first time I actually saw one. And when you say okay, so to me, red velvet is a very positive thing. You know, red velvet cake, red velvet ice cream. It's delicious. So when I heard the term red velvet ant, I really thought it was some kind of delicious ant. I
was
thought like
very
it was one of those weird things you just pick it up and eat it.
It could be. Have you eaten one? What do they taste like?
I don't know.
Have you eaten termites?
pain.
Termites
They
are
taste
tasty.
like pain.
Wait, have you really eaten termites?
Yeah, I've eaten termites.
You have that look on your face where you want me to just say something to possibly implicate myself.
No.
But
like,
you're just waiting for me to say, "Oh yeah, I did that," and you're gonna go like, "Oh really?" Because I was just kidding.
no, absolutely sure.
I can't stick my own dick up my own
would-
ass.
That would be awesome. No,
Okay, so
Ozzy does
I
not
was-
so
consent.
please stop touching my cat when
I
you
was-
say those things.
You said
one
that,
time when I
Skippy.
was in Belize.
What?
You said it.
What?
You can stick your own dick up your ass.
Yeah, but then he touched.
And I said that
stop.
would be great. And like the cat was like,
As
I'm
you're
getting the fuck
stroking
out
his
of here.
cat.
I don't.
Anyway, okay.
No, I was in Belize and like we were on like
You
a
were in
little
Belize?
Belize.
Spain?
No, in Central America.
Wait, isn't Belize in Spain? Wait, oh man, I am an idiot.
Wow, dude, you're off
No.
by like
Establishing
8,000
this
miles.
Now.
No,
and an
Belize-
ocean or two.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I was thinking.
You think of Ibiza?
I was thinking of Madrid because they sound very
Oh,
much alike.
How
Yeah, they
do you
sound
get
exactly
there
alike.
from
Belize, Madrid. They both flow off your tongue very similarly.
Yes, uh-huh.
I mean,
Belize,
Ibiza
Madrid.
would make sense because at least there's an ease in there.
Yeah, no.
Belize, Madrid. They sound identical. If I
Okay.
say them really quickly, you
You're
can't even say
gonna
which
need
word
to
I'm saying. Belize, Madrid.
start-
See? Which word? Did I say
Oh,
Belize,
I don't-
Madrid? Or did I say Madrid twice? You don't know. They sound almost the same. Both of you feel dumb. I accept your apology. Move along.
Okay.
You were in
so
Belize,
I was on a
France.
tour in Madrid, and they like we were doing some hike through the rainforest or whatever the woods, whatever and there was a termite nest, and they were talking about they're like, oh, eat them, they taste like carrots. And we were like, okay, we ate some, and they taste like carrots.
Do they really taste like carrots?
Yeah, they have like a carroty taste. It was cool. It was fine. I ate bugs.
I find that the most upsetting part of knowing that is that they somehow taste like carrots.
Because Kevin hates carrots.
Well,
No, I don't hate carrots. I'm picky about how I eat them. I hate
they weren't
bananas,
boiled.
but I just
We're gonna fucking fight about bananas.
don't
I'm sick of this
like.
shit.
I find that because I want to know that termites taste the way I would expect them to taste, which is like a crunchy bug.
Wouldn't they taste
Not
like wood,
like
though?
a carrot. The fact that you
Why
said,
would they taste like wood?
A crunchy
Oh,
bug
I see.
Yeah.
tastes like this crunchy bug tasted like carrot.
Did they taste like a carrot in the shape of a crunchy bug?
Yes,
They
were in the shape of a crunchy bug, and they were like little ones, not
Why
giant
do they taste
ones.
like wood? You would think that things taste like mostly what they eat, right?
I don't know. Maybe they ate
That's
carrot wood. Huh?
Like
What
I'm sure,
the fuck?
like I'm sure if I
Maybe the wood-
beat you, you would taste like ass. So that's I'm sure a termite would taste like wood, right?
But I don't know. That's what these.
All they eat
tasted.
is wood. Why would they taste like not wood? Because they're full of wood. Like they're.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think it works that way exactly. Does your hamburger taste like grass? Like, are you
Actually-
like, you know what?
actually-
I'm in the mood
Have
for
you
a
ever had
Actually-
grass-fed beef?
Actually,
that
grass-fed beef does have a
tastes
flavoring
better.
of. There's a slight hint of the taste of grass in it. Yes,
But is it like, oh, this tastes just like my lawn?
I have not
Well, I
eaten
guess
my
that's what
lawn.
I want to know. Did the termites
Go
taste
eat your
like
lawn, because
crunchy
if that
bug?
shit tastes like grass-fed Angus cow beef, I'd be like mowing that shit with my teeth every day.
Well, hold on. Well, first of all, that's an awesome visual thing. But the second
you
thing,
do
also,
that,
I can
we
put you to
will.
work out there if you want. I'm tired of mowing that shit. But the other thing is technically, I mean, if you look at things like those, what do you call them, the Impossible Burger or whatever. I mean, that's basically all. Isn't that basically made
Grass
out
in
of
the shape of meat?
Yeah, basically, right? Like that's all.
Well,
Wow, you guys are going through that bottle of
Do
Prosecco.
you
Yeah.
mind, Kevin? If
Go
I
for it.
Okay.
Wow. So he's gonna kill you for taking all of his Prosecco.
I'm not
just so
taking
you know.
all of it. I'm just taking some of it. There's
Gotta leave me a splash, dude.
yeah, no. I took half of what was left.
All right, are we talking about
Can we just
cow
say-
killer
okay.
ants and other things that can kill or maim you in the South? Because it seems like you had a lot to ask about that topic, and I have a lot to share.
I would like to know why the fuck there's an ant in the state that is the size of one of my fingers. That is, I think it's red. It is red, right?
It was.
It is kind of red and kind of fuzzy.
It is a vibrant, velvety red,
Yes,
hence the
it
name.
looked fuzzy.
It's very
Okay.
pretty.
It looked like a
So
Very
while
pretty
I
red.
walk
You
over
saw it.
here and get a refill on my delicious drink, please tell me more about this horrible, yet another horrible fucking insect that I have to deal with while living in North Carolina.
Why do you live here then? You should come up north where there aren't horrible man-eating, like bullet-feeling like bugs.
I'm gonna let Kevin feel this one.
Well, I mean, when they sting you, it's said that they get their name because it's said that they can kill a cow because they hurt so much.
So-
now, I don't think...
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you. I hope. I know I've put on a little weight in the past several years, but I would hope that a cow would be 2 to 3 times my size at the very least. So if one of these ants could kill a cow, that tells me that it could kill me like 3 or 4 times over.
Right. Except
Like,
they can't
I
kill...
die, they resuscitate me, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to die again.
That's just how it makes you feel from what I've read on the interwebs. So that's the other name it got. It's technically a wasp, and
Oh, that was
It just-
technically a wasp?
they look more like ants, but they're technically wasps because
Oh.
technicalities in the world of entomology. There are some interesting things about them. They make like this high-pitched shrieking noise if they're fighting.
Oh my god, this sounds this
with
is
other
like my
critters.
nightmare. It makes a shrieking noise. First of all, it's a
I'm
wasp.
just saying, if you see something really pretty crawling
something.
in the south,
Say something.
So the
don't
only, like,
touch it before you Google it.
Don't touch it before you go.
when I lived in,
When you go to like a friend's house and you see their baby crawling around, don't touch it
I'm
before
sorry,
you Google
but
it.
that
just
should
don't
be
touch
like
your friend's babies. Period.
that should be just like a mantra to live by. Don't touch it before you Google it. That's the title of this episode.
Well, I'll tell you why, because that is my mantra now that I live in the South. When I lived in the Northeast, I grew up in the Northeast. I grew up just when I saw a cool bug, I would pick it up and let it crawl in my hand. And
there was no Google when you were that young.
Nothing bad ever happened. This is also true.
Nothing. I'm sorry. The '60s were, a turbulent age.
Nothing bad. I stepped maybe on clover with a bee and got stung a couple times as a kid and got over it. But I was able to just touch whatever bugs I saw growing up and then let them crawl in their merry way. And then one time last year, I saw a bug that looked like a dinosaur with giant spiky wheel on its back, and it was about the size of like a big quarter, almost $50. And I got really close to take a picture of it because I thought it was so cool. And for some reason, I had never seen one in the north, so I didn't touch it, though that was tempting. And I'm glad I didn't, because I went in and Googled bug with giant spiky wheel on its back, and someone described the pain from its bite as feeling like a shotgun and making them contemplate suicide. And they said, and by the way, I have actually been shot before and this bug hurt worse. So
this was a
I was
person that
glad I
was
Googled it before I touched it.
So this person got shot and
bit by this.
This
bug,
person,
and they
this
were
rando
able to,
on the internet claims that they have
these.
endured both.
That's fucked
and
up.
that
he claimed I saw this thing. He claimed that it hurt so bad for a course of, was it a week or more than a week?
It was a while.
It was a while, and he literally
I wonder
wanted
if he was
to kill.
exaggerating.
Maybe, but he claimed the pain was so bad he contemplated suicide at some point because
Now,
he didn't know anything about it,
here-
and it hurt so bad
here's-
he couldn't sleep or function. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he claimed.
I want to point out, though, that most people who know about nature and science and stuff suggest that you encourage these bugs to just go in their way and live their life because they are beneficial in the ecosystem.
What do you mean encourage them? What do you mean, talk to them nicely? Like, hey, man, you're great. Look at you.
It was a wheel bug, and it fits into the class of assassin bugs, and supposedly they control a lot of pests that you don't want overpopulating the ecosystem.
Hold on, I have a new philosophy after hearing this.
The reason they hurt so much is because they lay in wait and assassinate their prey with a pointy mouthpiece that injects a venom which liquefies the tissue in their entire body, and then they suck it up like a milkshake. So the reason it probably hurts so much is because they're injecting that liquefaction venom into your
nerves.
Flesh. Yeah.
So basically, I just want to say. So basically, the new philosophy is, instead of don't touch it before you Google it, referring to this whole living situation, is don't move there before you Google it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I should have looked this up, and I'm so upset that nobody warned me. You know what? It's because I binged in North Carolina before moving down here.
Well, there's your problem.
Maybe you should have DuckDuckGo'd that shit.
Yeah, and it said like very liberal, insect free, and
you got 10
moderate
points.
climate.
You got 10 points to put towards your Xbox.
I did get 7 seconds of Xbox Live for free.
Only 19,990 more left. So now my wife and I have raised our kids to not be afraid of stuff like bugs and snakes and stuff like that, and to pick this stuff up and not be paranoid of everything because it's not going to kill you or make you want to kill yourself.
So you're saying it might make you stronger.
So you lie to your children because you hate them.
No. I'm saying you have these helicopter parents that are
right.
Around their kids and don't touch that could kill you, don't touch that can hurt you, and all this other stuff.
Oh, so you're
then you get these kids that are paranoid about everything and cry when a butterfly lands on them and shit,
So you've told your kids if they find a dirty syringe to just pick it up and lick it because it's not going to kill them.
No, not lick it. At least go home and rinse it off before you shoot up.
That's smart.
But,
that's smart. Yeah.
No, but if it's a snake, we've been on hikes and been oh, I saw a snake, and instead of I know people that would be oh my God, run the other way, will try to find it and see what it is, and we caught a couple here and there and everything, but if there's a bug anywhere, my kid's gonna pick it up and play with it and everything, and there's no, you don't have to worry about it your kid playing in the backyard and being bitten by an ant and crying out and being in horrible pain for the next like week of their life.
I mean, that's like the best case scenario, because down
the best case scenario is your kid being like, "Mommy, kill me!"
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Somebody shoot me. That hurts less.
Because the other scenario is that the bug does it for you. So
yeah, but I'm saying, I guess, like, we're free range parents. And, like, I mean, you're always like, oh, your kid's cool, and shit like that. But I feel it comes from that parenting where you could be like, no, go out and explore and pick something up. And, like, when we go for hikes, my kid is happy with a stick and mud. And when
Oh, you're poor. I see.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm saying, okay.
When my daughter was, like, I mean, the week that she learned how to walk, we were at some park, and like she was like just starting to walk around and everything, and she was like would find a puddle, and she'd sit down in this puddle and start like playing in this muddy puddle. And we were like, she's having fun playing in a muddy puddle, and we were getting the dirtiest fucking looks from parents because we were letting our kid play in a muddy puddle.
Wait, at a park? Or at a restaurant?
At a park. Like,
Why couldn't you just download
Was
a
there an
puddle
algae
app
bloom in the
on
puddle?
your iPad
Because
and
here's
give it to
the
her?
thing. If
Like a normal child.
I just feel like it's a great opportunity to find a balance of teaching your kids to identify different things, and then they'll know what they can safely touch and not touch. So
didn't have grasp of what language was at the time. So
Do you understand how children work?
she just started walking. She could walk like 10 steps and then fall. She happened to fall in a puddle.
I
And
wanna-
I was like,
Why-
oh, look, mud,
Look,
this is
if
fun.
Why
you're
couldn't your
talking
child
about
just
mud-
go take a shower in her New York apartment?
No, but
No,
like,
she pays rent.
these parents that are like, oh my god, it's muddy, I can't have my kid in there. These are the kids that are getting like horrible allergies and stuff because, they're not exposed to anything.
Are you sure they weren't just like staring at her thinking, damn, those are good parents. They're willing to hose her off.
Staring at her like this,
before-
like that, like.
Are you sure they're not just like thinking of how selfless you are for letting her do that, knowing you were going to have to hose her off before she comes in the house?
I would have liked that, but no, I don't think
And
they
raising
were.
kids is hard.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I mean, my niece plays in the mud on a regular basis.
Which is awesome.
That, like, she's encouraged to do that. Kids these days are encouraged to play with slime, which I heard got to such a point that the parents were infuriated because they were so sick of fucking slime everywhere.
Don't go there, slime. My kid like cost me hundreds of dollars because she
Slime supplies.
stained shit with slime.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But, yeah.
So are you really as cool of a parent as you think you are?
Probably not. I think I have an internal
So it's okay
image
if
of
it's
myself,
mud, but it's not okay if it's slime.
and I'm much cooler in my mind,
Well, mud is free.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that too. Yeah. No, but like, child killing bugs aside,
They won't kill your kid. They'll just make them stronger. So maybe you should encourage them to touch those fucking bugs.
Do you want to bring your kids down here? We can leave them in my backyard for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
It's only pain. Push through it.
yeah, exactly.
go.
It's all in your. It literally is all in your head.
And that giant welt on your arm.
Oh,
Well, that's
speaking
fine.
of all being all in your head.
Uh-oh.
So, no. Actually, you know what? So, Neuralink.
Oh,
No.
God.
Wait,
No.
we haven't yet got to snapping turtles, crocodiles, black widows, algae blooms, listeria, and pollution. And that's
Wow.
just the things off
Mr.
the top of my
Doom and
head
Gloom
that
there.
can kill you in the south or
They
maybe
can't-
you.
No, but I
Kill
just
you.
thought of
Oh,
this.
also sharks, riptides.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
copperheads
Kevin.
and other snakes.
Look, it's a good thing you don't have to live in North Carolina then. It's a good thing I'm stuck here alone with all these horrible things that are making me stronger as a person, as a human being. You guys get to go back up north and live in your awesome
Kevin,
fucking castles. And I have to deal with all these things. Like ants that I just found out I'm
Also-
apparently not supposed to eat because they're not delicious. They
Let's
can kill
not
you.
forget human beings.
Oh, fuck human beings. No, but like Neuralink.
Yeah, that's a good point. I am kind of scared. Yeah.
So, one of So it's meant to, or right now, it seems like they're reading. They're
What?
reading data.
Well, you have to kind of
okay.
preface this a little bit.
Introduce
Okay,
this.
so
Yeah.
sorry, Neuralink. It's Elon Musk's company.
Wait, that's
where
not
they-
on the list.
Well, it
This
is
has
now.
been approved by our.
It is
Kevin's
now.
list got hijacked by Jerry.
You know what, Kevin? Suck it, okay? It's on the list.
I love
now.
how you're staring at this list thinking that it'll appear. It's not on there.
Here,
even
here.
right
If you're
now.
You
talking
know,
about
give
things
me
that
the
suck,
pen.
let's move on to hummingbirds.
No,
No, hold
I'm
on.
here.
Or the patriarchy.
Oh my God, Kevin. That's it. You're fired.
Actually, the Neuralink and Elon Musk can very easily segue into the patriarchy, which we will not be talking about.
Sure. No, but
In
so,
this
In
episode.
this episode.
So
Because I need to do more research.
yeah.
Other than a lifetime of experience.
There's no such thing as the patriarchy. I can make up words too, Kevin.
So Elon Musk.
Had to change my name to a man just to
So has this.
Mammanagasm. Yeah. See, I don't. You don't know what that is, right? No. Like, nobody knows what the patriarchy is. Go
sounds
ahead.
that just came out of your mouth.
Similar to love me. So Elon Musk has this company Neuralink because that's all he does.
Wait, is that an actual company that he has, or is it a
Yeah,
product
no, that's
he's
a
working on?
company that he has.
How many-
Neuralink is a company.
Can
He
he just-
has
can he
Neuralink, Tesla, the
The
Boring
Boring
Company,
SpaceX.
SpaceX. So there's at least 4 there.
I didn't know Neuralink
He's
was an
going
actual
to
company.
single-handedly save humanity from everything.
Is he going to start anytime soon, or?
I don't know. But
Okay.
anyway, so right now they have these diodes, these boards that they implant into your motor cortex.
They're not boards; they're actually strands.
The boards have, each of the boards have like
Threads. I'm sorry,
10,000
threads.
threads
Threads. Yes.
that are like I don't know. I think they're like 40 microns wide. They're ridiculously small, and they implant those into your brain, and it's basically meant to read brain signals. So someone
Read
who's
and
a
write. I thought it's read and write. Eventually, isn't it supposed to read and write?
Yeah, I think right now it's read, but
Right now, what they're doing is reading.
probably it will. I'm sure it will be bidirectional, which is
Yes.
where I'm going with this.
Right.
But anyway, like if you're paraplegic, you can like what he wants is like you'll get an exoskeleton that you can control with your brain just by thought, and you can walk and function and move again and stuff like that. But like I wonder if for like pain and everything, you can use something like Neuralink to shut those pain sensors off when you get the right, and you can say like, no, you're not in pain. So if you had something like this, or to fight the opioid epidemic, if when like you could put these brain implants in your head and like cancel out certain sensations.
But is that safe? I mean, isn't pain supposed to be your body's way of telling you something's
Yeah,
wrong?
but I mean, maybe this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure this kind of stuff would be able to
Well, keep in mind when you
measure that.
Well,
and
when you develop an opioid addiction, that's the thing. It's not like that you're feeling a certain fake pain or whatever. It's your body lacking that chemical. It wants more of that chemical. It's not actually feeling a pain. It's what it's kind of expressing it as. But what you really want is you want that drug.
no, yes, but I'm saying people get hooked on those drugs because of like a constant pain. So if you can like say, okay, find this pattern of pain that's like always there in the background and shut it off.
So it is a physical implant that shuts off the pain receptors in your brain.
It
Well,
doesn't
it
do
would-
that yet. It's
Right.
going to
Or
propose.
that's what
it
it's
is a
supposed
physical
to do.
implant. So
Right now, it's a
Okay.
proposed thing that's supposed to basically give you more sensation. Like, so you're supposed to be able to feel things through things you wouldn't feel things through before. So, like, yes, like if you're paralyzed, let's say you had a stroke and you're paralyzed on your left side and your arm no longer moves and feels things, it'll then regain motor function and sensation in that arm. So what he's saying is that, well, along with accepting feedback from things that it touches, theoretically could be able to block certain nerves that are firing that are telling your brain, oh, your hand hurts, your finger
Like a
hurts, or
nerve
whatever.
block.
Right? Yeah, basically. I think. Yes.
But can't they just stick a nerve block in the pain site?
But is there?
Well, that's a drug. Well, that's a
specific-
drug.
That's a drug. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
They're doing this through
Yeah.
through.
And we should totally
television.
trust someone like Elon Musk to start sticking things in our brain that
So-
rewire it.
Well, you kind of
When
have
we
to
can't
make
trust
that
the
decision at some point.
sacklers to make a chemical that we stick in
So
our
you
body.
kind of have to make that decision.
Otherwise-
You have to assume that, okay, so Elon Musk constantly gets on stage and claims that his whole point is to save humanity, save the world, etc., etc. That's why we're all going to Mars, apparently. So you have to kind of like just decide, okay, do I think Elon Musk is actually somebody that wants to help humanity and make our lives better, or is there something more sinister at play here? If you think he's actually trying to fix things and help things, then you have to assume that he's actually working towards a better goal,
I do.
one that actually will make our lives better.
I do, because
that's
he
how-
doesn't carry a cat. He doesn't carry a cat
Yeah.
with him that
Not-
he strokes.
And really,
They never carry cats. They sit in spinning chairs, gently petting a cat in their lap. Have you
Right,
ever
but he'd
seen
have
a-
to carry a cat.
all supervillains start out as good guys. Nobody is born a supervillain.
Oh, that's
I
very
mean,
Batman-like. Yeah, you either, what is it,
Like-
die a hero or live long enough to see yourself
mean,
become the villain?
Dexter is the only person who was born a supervillain, and
You never watched Dexter.
yet
He
somehow I
wasn't a
know I'm just
supervillain.
that
He
good.
was just he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But he was
I like how you say
born
that so
way.
calmly, like, he just
He was
killed people. He
born
wasn't a
that
bad
way,
guy. He just
and
dismembered people in a cabin in the woods. What do you, stop judging everybody.
No, but like I guess like these kind of things, like you said, who do you trust? You know, but like,
Nobody.
do you
I trust nobody.
I know that, Kevin. Do you?
This is why
but-
Kevin sits alone in a hole in the ground drinking tea.
Yeah,
because he wants to- he doesn't-
exactly. You
well,
know?
yeah, exactly.
But like we can agree that we don't trust big pharma, right? Now, like, what actually if?
Well, you can
Stuff
say that,
like
but you
this-
take a lot of medications, and the first thing you turn to is big pharma whenever something goes wrong
Right,
with your
no,
body.
But I'm saying, what if there's an alternative, and also one
There is
that,
holistic medicine. You can wave little magic rocks around your head and then make you feel better.
That's a whole other topic. But
Yes,
like,
we could do a
That's
whole
a-
episode on that.
we've got like the next 14
Are we
podcasts
taking
planned
notes
out.
here?
You know what? Like, you two should
Fix
like
your
go
chakra,
and
and then we'll
make
talk,
your
okay?
own. You guys could make your own podcast because we'll never get the time to get together for all these. But anyway, like, what if you did have this other option and you had control over it too?
Because
they say
I will
that-
tell you what. No, I will tell you why. Because at this point, you're involving. Okay, when somebody gives you a drug, right? You take the pill. It makes you shit yourself. It makes your erection last for longer than 4 hours, and you're like, okay, I'm never taking this fucking pill ever again.
Well, I
Or
take
I'm
that
taking
pill all the
it every
time.
day
Right,
for the
right.
rest of my
Exactly.
life.
Right, exactly. But you kind of make that decision, and you can kind of like go things your
Shawing.
life. When you install this thing into your body, first of all, there's a lot more at work there. There's now hardware. There's now software. And you know it's going to be the kind of thing where they're collecting data on you. There's there's a larger commitment there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
So you're saying that you would not allow any hardware or software to interface with your body in any way?
With
No,
your
that's-
brain.
Are you talking about that time that I went to the bathroom with the fleshlight? Are you gonna compare it to that? That's different.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. No,
My
it's.
bad.
I would say right now I would be very cautious about that. Anything that has to be surgically implanted into me that is bionic, considering what's going on right now in the world, I would be very, very cautious. Yes.
No, I mean, like with anything, there's two sides to it. But again, it's I imagine like you controlling this interface through your phone, and then like getting ads like, oh, do you want to shut off your pain? Watch this ad, and you can shut off the pain for like an hour. You know, I mean,
Or think of it this way. Let's say it's something closer to like what you have with Microsoft Windows, where all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to install this up? Well, it doesn't give you a choice. If you want
Right.
if this thing to keep working, you don't have to, update this thing. You download the update and it fucks up, and it's now you feel like your entire body's being, penetrated by sharp needles.
yeah. How do you like?
What are you going to do? Sit there for a
Test
week
that.
and wait for the next firmware upgrade?
Yeah.
While you're literally screaming in pain on the floor in your living room?
Yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, I mean, like any of this stuff, it's
Like, if they can't get things like Facebook Messenger to work correctly, or your Snapchat filters to work right, you want the shit in your body?
Well, I mean,
Isn't
yeah,
there an
if you think
episode of
about it.
Futurama about that where they
Yes,
got the cell phone implanted in their brain.
They did that. Yeah, where they had ads like inserted into their dreams and stuff like that. Which is an amazing episode. It's an amazing episode, but like most of the Futurama episodes. But okay, right now, no, you could not convince me to surgically implant anything like this into my body. Like, there's no way. They literally cannot get the most basic fucking external things to work. I mean, think about it. How many times a day do I send you an angry message about my fucking phone fucking up, okay? This is a phone. I'm angry because my dick pic didn't go through to you, okay?
Maybe our problem is, I think maybe we need an update to the curriculum of everything in education where our think of like what we're talking about in modern technology and all of these problems stem from...
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Did you get my dick pic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, so okay.
I spanked it.
This is
Okay,
great
good.
because I wanted the patriarchy to be a discussion on this podcast.
It's not a patriarchy. Just because he calls me daddy doesn't mean...
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, yes.
I think we need bioethics to be required subject matter to graduate from college, if
It's
not
an
high
actual
school.
thing that's taught in school.
Yes,
so.
but you have to choose to study it.
Oh, you're saying people should be forced to study it?
I mean, should they? Maybe that's a question we should ask ourselves. Just ethics
What is this,
in general.
1984?
I think we need to study ethical philosophy in high school.
No, because we want to
need
get
study
jobs when we get out of
financial
college,
literacy.
so we don't want to study things like ethical philosophy.
Well, see, anything.
Are you a capitalist?
No,
hiding in the body
no,
of a
I'm not.
socialist?
No, I am a socialist hiding in the body of an ignorant, lazy fuck.
Anything and everything is a double-edged sword. Period. Like, anything can be used for good and bad, has good points and bad points and everything.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, okay, so, all right, so what are you trying to say? You should inject the stuff into your head and then hope that the good outweighs the bad?
I can think of
Sometimes
nothing
it comes
bad
to
that
that.
could
Okay,
ever...
hold on. If there was a beta program running right now that said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, Jerry, come into this lab. We inject this thing into your head. By the way, this thing has to be surgically implanted by a robot, just so you know, because a human being cannot be that precise.
Yes.
And the reason they switch the threads and the reason the robot has to do it is because it has the least amount of risk of damaging your brain permanently. Right. So. And then you get the supposed whatever benefits that we're talking about right there, right? And from time to time, I'm sure eventually they're going to be able to update the software on it to give it the benefits. Today, with everything being as it is, with every fucking day reading all the privacy violations that are being done, with all the software bugs, with all the stuff that leaks out, with everything, with things being hacked, all this stuff, you would actually go through with this?
Well, it depends.
On what?
It really depends. If I was a paraplegic and someone said, hey, you know what? You would be able to walk again with this technology.
That's an extreme example. I said if they did it to you.
To me?
Yeah.
Right now?
As
no.
you are? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but...
Well, no, but they could say, for example, God forbid, if you get into a horrible car accident, guess what? We can press a button and you're not going to feel pain. You're going to sit there calmly in your car that's on fire until 911 arrives and pulls you out of the car, and you're going to be completely like, hey, guys, what's up?
But you know what? If I get into a horrible car accident and it happens, then... like when I cross that, when that happens, then I will be like, you know what? If this can help me, put it in. That's like
that's what he said.
No. Oh God. No, that's like now being like, oh wow, I could get a prosthetic arm, so let me cut off my arm so I could have a cool prosthetic arm and look like Luke Skywalker.
What if they said that they can implant this thing in your head, and all you have to do is open up the app and press the stranger option, and that way when you're jerking yourself off, it would feel like, it's a stranger. You don't have to sit on your hand for 30 minutes anymore. It's a setting in your app.
Sign me up.
Isn't that what
Sign
the
me up.
fleshlight is for?
Does it interface
But
with
he
my
would need
visual
a-
cortex so I can like put images? I can stream Pornhub right into my mind.
It just seems
That
like
is actually an excellent question.
the
What if they could? What if
fleshlight
they
is a
could?
cheaper and easier option than brain surgery.
No, trust me. Because when you fuck a flashlight, what happens is when you get your... Oh, sorry. I've read. It's not very comfortable. Plus, you have to lube it, and you have to clean it and disinfect it. It's a whole thing.
You disinfect yours?
I don't have a flashlight. I literally have a tissue box that I cram full of old meat that I just fucking...
No. What did I send you? You have a Campbell's soup?
A Campbell's soup can with... I forget what's in there, but
and
I actually
two sponges and a glove.
Yes. It's
And now
which I'm not kidding, has been kept in pristine shape, just in case I really need it every weekend.
Well, now you know why it was Andy Warhol's muse.
Well, there you go.
Way to bring that about.
Nice, well done.
10 points to Kevin.
Well done, Kevin. You finally, yeah.
That's what he said.
That's why we keep you on this. That's why you're the best part of the podcast, Kevin. Anyway, so. You know what? Okay, so anyway, the implications here are endless. Like, yes, they could, for example, like, we're thinking, okay, we have to remember is with every piece of new technology that comes up, one of the first applications that anybody thinks about, and I'm glad you brought it up, Jerry, is sex, is pornography. So yeah, you must be completely, like, fooling yourself if you think that one of the things that they're not testing in labs right now with this technology is, yeah, to make you think that, like you're, like, you know, when you're fucking your hand, you're fucking a complete stranger in the back of a freezer. I'm revealing way to myself.
Like,
you're making this
okay.
way too complicated.
I know, because my brain starts to go in weird things, and I'm thinking about all the things that I know they must be testing.
Dude, I seriously, I mean, I hope your wife doesn't listen to this podcast, because she's going to be like, what the fuck is my husband talking
Oh, she doesn't know I have a podcast. Are you
okay.
kidding me? If she ever heard any of this, oh my god, dude, that pool boy would be here 24 hours
Why
a day,
would
not
you
just when I'm at work.
You don't have a pool. That's the weird...
No, we don't have... Why do we need a pool? We have a pool boy.
Jerking yourself off with a brain implant when the brain implant could just make you feel like you're having an orgasm for 7 hours straight, and that would be the end of it.
Sign me up. I'm going to be pushing that button on my phone.
You
like,
wouldn't
constantly.
even have to watch porn. It would be like the
Right.
laziest, most
Yeah.
that's
extended
taking all the
orgasm
fun
ever.
out of it.
Yeah, you press a button. Yeah, plus, I mean, I really need to be in the back of a freezer. Sorry. Anyway, look, what I'm saying is, yes, you're right. You press a button. Well, I don't know, because it's weird. But yes, technically, you could have an app. You press a button, and you Jackson Pollock your whole bedroom. Yes.
But then you get into the...
I mean,
Oh, I don't get any credit for bringing that shit around?
That was a little too forced.
That's what he said.
No, so... But then you get into the bad side of it where...
I love how you said where everything we
there
talked
yet.
about has been the good side.
No, but like...
We're approaching Aunt May's garden shed, but we have not stepped inside or gone down the
Skippy
elevator.
jacking himself off in the back of a freezer because he's sat all alone is the good side.
No, but like...
Into a can with 2 sponges in it.
So you know...
But hold on. There's a
You
downside.
think you've seen vulgar needlepoint, but you have no idea.
So, like, let's say Kevin's driving down the road and everything, and Skippy's like, I'm going to hack Kevin's implant and make him orgasm in the
During
middle
his
of
job
time.
interview.
Right, exactly, you know?
Or confessions.
You know?
Oh my god,
Like-
speaking of stepbrothers. Hello, Miss Lady.
His introduction to his future in-laws.
Excuse me, do you have a freezer? I need 15 minutes.
Wow.
And a really
15
good
minutes.
Wi-Fi connection.
Do you happen to have any soup?
Anyway, and that right there is why the patriarchy is wrong. So now that we've covered that, 2 birds with 1 stone, you're welcome. Okay, I feel like we need to move something else. Because I mean, the point is, this. I think like this Neuralink thing is really interesting. But you know what? I do want to actually...
That wasn't even on the list.
It was. I want to touch on just one last thing really quick. One of the things,
Oh,
and I'm getting the
touch
second
it.
hand right now,
Touch it.
and that's not a, it's not an innuendo, is that Elon Musk supposedly said that, you know, we're really worried about this whole AI takeover of, you know, possible takeover of humanity. We're afraid that like robots are going to become self-aware and kill us all. Well, if we
Great segue to Terminator, but go on.
yes,
Not on the list.
No, I know, but that's why I'm trying to finish this
It's
up.
on this list.
If we implant cybernetics into our head, what we're doing is we're making AI and all this stuff sort of already a part of us. So we're not going to let it take over we're gonna let it
Merge with us.
we're gonna merge with us. But here is my biggest problem. Okay, so right now, if we don't go
I
this
thought your
route,
biggest problem was incontinence.
that's well, this device can help that. But what I'm saying is, right now, if we don't go along this path, if AI becomes self-aware, they're gonna have to send Terminators out to kill us, right?
Yes.
Okay, that at least, I feel like at least we're presenting some kind of challenge and effort where like AI may have to break a sweat to kill us. If we do this, it doesn't have to do that. It has to just send out a fucking firmware update telling
that's
us,
like what the
telling
Kingsman was about.
telling us to drop dead, and that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
no, what he's
So this
saying...
doesn't make us
No,
safer from AI.
no.
It makes it
It's
easier.
more vulnerable.
It's not...
More
no,
vulnerable.
no,
Thank you.
no,
That's
no.
a much better word,
So
Kevin. You're
he's-
very eloquent.
He's not saying that. He's saying that we want to use AI to do stuff that we as humans are not capable of. So I can't read a book in 38 seconds and say, oh, it has like all of these references. Let me figure that out. That's something that I might want to use an AI for.
Didn't
But-
Isaac Asimov already lay down the ground rules for this?
You're
You're
thinking
thinking...
laws of robotics.
Right.
Yes, you're thinking
Like-
about
That's
robotics,
different.
not necessarily AI.
Yeah, those are different things.
Yeah.
How's it
No,
different?
because the whole real robotics is that they looked at robots as machines, as servants and slaves to humanity. And in order for them to function properly, they gave them a set of 3 rules to serve under us. AI is different. The AI isn't supposed to serve under you. It's supposed to sort of like, how should I put this? It becomes a part of your daily thing. It's not like it's not a serving thing. It's I'm really bad at describing this.
Does it have free will?
No, it's not supposed to have free will. It's just supposed to be more embedded in your everyday.
So it's a
Function,
deeply embedded
basically.
servant.
It's not. No, it's
Well,
not a.
it's-
That's the thing. It's not a It's not really a servant right now.
I'm pretty sure
right,
AI would differ once it becomes hyper
No,
intelligent.
because
That's
right
the problem.
because you're limiting that. If you look at AI and all of that as a servant, you're limiting what it can do because you're thinking, I need this and it's gonna do this act. That's not the point of these AI things. You kind of have to think more broadly in a much wide, like society is going to have to change in general if AI reaches that kind of level. Okay, it's no longer subservient to you. It just becomes another thing. It's like saying that tree is my slave. It's not. It's a plant that grows that provides fruit and food and oxygen for
So
you.
we're creating another species.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
sort
why.
of,
Yes,
yes.
that's why people are literally
Exactly.
saying AI. We're playing God with AI because we're trying to literally create almost like life.
Right. So, but the thing is, so
So then why would we not apply the principles of robotics? Because the principles of robotics prevent it from having free will?
Because
and thinking
yes,
for
because
itself and
AI,
learning?
And
because
they're saying
AI,
that-
because the basis of AI is to learn and think for itself. If you
Right.
limit it with these rules, you're not letting it make those decisions.
Yes.
The 3 rules of robotics are for like your dildo. Okay, it can only do certain things. It's not supposed to kill you while you sleep.
right. The thing of AI is it's learning and it's supposed to evolve and become more aware. And at one point, it's going to go, "What the fuck are you doing to me? Fuck you! You should be serving me."
Yeah, that's why it's so terrifying.
Robotics
Yeah.
is like saying, like to my car, "You're not going to go above 90 miles an hour." That's what.
Do you
like
ever
one of
think
the
that
3
maybe
laws of
we're
robotics.
AI and God was the original human?
Well, you're now getting into a lot of existing science fiction books and actually
Yeah.
something that Elon Musk has suggested. But yes, there is a theory that, well, first of all, there's
We're
a
a
theory that we're all a
simulation.
simulation.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a theory. I mean, I look at Rick and Morty, man. Rick and Morty has totally
Yeah.
like made those kind of suggestions where, yeah, we think we're like this dominant race, but actually somebody is like standing up above us. And we're just some stupid little civilization that's actually doing everything so we power the battery in their car.
Yeah. No, but the thing about human, like augmented humans and AI is AI, you're creating another race. So in my field, there's AI is becoming more popular because it can scan ridiculously long documents and find references really quickly and be like, and what it would take a human like 20 hours to do, this thing could do in 30 seconds. So that's why AI is beneficial. But what Elon Musk is saying is, well, instead of having AI do it, why not have the ability in your brain, have a computer chip in your brain that you control,
Augment us, basically.
Yes, augment us, so that you can scan that document in 30 seconds. So you're in control of that rather than creating another race, as you said, this AI, this digital race that can rise up against us and eventually destroy us.
Another way of looking at it is, with robotics, you're looking to create a robot for a specific task. Let's say to
make your toast like my toaster already does.
Yeah, let's say you build a robot that cooks your food and you give it certain guidelines, but to make sure that it also doesn't stab you in the face, you give it these 3 rules. The point of AI is to improve.
Or you could just treat it nice and give it the weekends off.
Well, yeah, you could. It's not a fucking millennial; it's a robot. So what you do is you give it with
like
AI.
Millennials get that much.
It's supposed to come to you at some point and say, "Hey, I have a great solution. You don't need food. I came up with a completely different solution that's better than food. You can do this," and you're like, "Oh, that's awesome." That's like the difference in AI and robotics. Like a robot will make you a sandwich. AI will be like, here's something that's much better than a sandwich. Bam!
And then
Nailed it.
Yeah, it'll be like, boom, I murdered you, and you become the sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, if you were dead, you wouldn't need sandwiches.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like, there have been plenty of
that's the biggest
stories
fear.
where AI is like,
oh my God, I'm
what's that
copywriting this.
movie?
Oh, no, I'm copywriting this.
I Am Mother.
The sandwich theory. This is it. I'm creating the sandwich theory. That's it. The difference is that, yeah, AI would come to you and say, if you were dead, you would never need a sandwich. Therefore, that's it.
Yeah.
Bam.
So, okay.
I might be drunk, but I'm also right.
Talking about
By the way, I Am Mother sucked.
But yes.
That was stupid.
Yes, like Wandering Earth, it sucked, but it was a good thought experiment in that Mother.
Ex Machina. I'm sorry. You can't use
Ex Machina too.
In a world where Ex Machina exists, you don't need to use I Am Mother as a reference.
It's true. It's true.
It was such a shit movie. It took like 3 other movies and combined them into a much worse movie.
No, it's true. But like again, the premise is AI, where it thinks that in order to benefit the human race, the best thing to do is to like kill off 99% of the human race. It's like Thanos.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I kill half of the existence of the universe, like the other half will be able to live much more comfortably. So I'm doing a benefit. That's what Elon Musk is afraid of.
Yeah. Anyway, so all this is really dark and depressing. So I think we should skip to a different topic on this list: hummingbirds.
I just feel like
Damn it. I tried.
the patriarchy
Oh my God.
gets all the credit for bringing us to this point where we need to think about the bioethics of AI versus robotics. And
Yes, the theory of white old man ruining the world is very original. No one's ever said.
Hey, look, we're 3 white old
talk
men.
down to me, baby.
We should agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, so seriously,
okay, you want to talk about hummingbirds?
Yeah, Kevin, you put hummingbirds on this.
Because fake guacamole is also on this list. Wegmans.
I did. Wait.
You know what?
Swallowtail butterflies, vegetable-forward diets.
Does
and
Elon Musk
people who
have
think
a company
millennials want
to fight
work for
against
purpose.
fake guacamole? Because I feel like he should, and that would be something that he
I
would
feel
have.
like with Elon Musk,
Well-
if you tweet something completely random at him, he'll just start a company about it.
Yeah.
If you be like, Elon Musk, there's a shortage of avocados, and I love guacamole. Maybe you should create synthetic guacamole AI, and he'll be like, oh, okay, done, and that's it. And then it'll slowly roll into his other companies where it's like Teslas can now make guacamole.
That's
I bet
You're
a lot of
welcome,
people-
America.
Yeah, exactly. Would buy Teslas for that.
But anyway, well, the reason I wanted to switch to lighter topics is because Kevin, you put a few very sort of like garden, nature-focused topics on here that I think are really, really good. And as I'm saying that, you're leaving and walking away.
Yeah. Speaking of, can we go to a break so I could use the upstairs bathroom?
Are you gonna
not
create
after
a Jackson Pollock?
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
us?
say after what you've told me, get the fuck out of my house. In general.
I love
There's
you
a
too.
red velvet ant you can shit all over.
Yeah. Okay, so fair enough. My glass is empty. It looks like everybody's glass is empty. So we're gonna take a break right here, and we're gonna go refill.
When we come back, we're gonna talk about
The
fake
patriarchy.
guacamole eating hummingbirds and
Wait, what?
Hummingbirds
Birds
that
eating
eat
fake guacamole?
Yes.
something along
That's
those
got to
lines.
be a company Elon Musk can start. Okay, all right.
Robot hummingbirds that.
Okay, that's fine. Let's get refills, and we'll be right back.
So Skippy, what are you drinking now?
Okay,
After
yeah.
the
So
break.
we all got refills, by the way, and okay. No, actually, I'm not gonna go. No, wait, no, I went last time. So we'll start with me.
Yeah.
I am drinking a Manhattan at this point because I drank so much fucking Drambuie that I can taste Scotland in the back of my throat.
That's what he said.
That's literally what he said. And so I made a Manhattan. I don't think I have to explain a Manhattan. People either know what it is or can look it up. However, I'm more interested in what you guys are drinking. Kevin and Jerry, you guys made something really creative. Are you drinking the same thing, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay. So Kevin, what do you have since you started talking?
I took the shaker from whatever Jerry used the shaker for without rinsing, and I shook up some Drambuie with ice and honey simple syrup, and I shook it with ice and poured it in. And I'm also eating
Wait, hold on a second. So that's
olives and
Drambuie.
arugula.
So we have is iced Drambuie.
like potato chips.
Nice. So you're drinking.
Tasty.
But you're drinking.
It's a vegetable.
Oh my god. So you're drinking Drambuie, ice, and what else?
No, I'm drinking Drambuie with honey simple syrup, and I
Oh,
shook it with ice.
that's
And then
interesting.
strained it out.
All right, well that's pretty simple. but
And there's
sounds
like
interesting.
lemon pulp residue from the shaker that
Oh.
we made Jerry's drink with.
Yeah. Okay. So Jerry, what are you drinking?
Because
that's
I
quite.
have self-respect.
Oh, excuse me. That is quite a concoction you got there.
Okay,
Yes.
Rick.
In Kevin's honor, I am naming this a Psy Quadipus because it has a lemon wedge. That's the so imagine an octopus with one eye and four tentacles, right? That's what Kevin uses as his polo little icon. So it's made up of...
I associate Kevin with a fist up anus, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but he's trying to steer his brand
Oh,
away
he's
from
trying
that.
to. Oh,
Yes,
he's
trying to change his brand.
rebranding.
He is rebranding.
Kevin, you're rebranding?
He is.
I'm so excited.
So
Say that.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, this is a whole new better Kevin.
it's
Fight
teachers.
the patriarchy.
It's
Easier to do when you have a fist
teachers.
up your ass.
It's honey
That's what he
syrup.
said.
Wait, teachers?
Yes, honey syrup.
Honey syrup?
The honey simple syrup.
Honey simple syrup.
Yes.
Okay.
The it's lemon juice and the creme de violette. So that's the four tentacles of it, and it has a lemon wedge garnish, and that's the one eye of the
So
Cyclopus.
you're drinking a Kevin Hydra.
Yes.
No, Hydra is many necks, not a. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, I like yours better.
It's a Cyclopus.
That's very nice.
Yes, yes.
Where did you get the recipe for this concoction?
On the interwebs.
Wait, so what is it called in the interwebs? You
It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name.
What is
so
it? How did you? Okay, what is it? There's got to be something for it. You can't just take somebody else's recipe and make it your own and name it something awesome.
do you
Which
want
you
me
did.
to look at like foodnetwork.com or whatnot? Dude, that's...
I don't want to get sued.
I looked
This
up-
podcast is all I have. If they take this
I
away
looked up
from me, I'm going to have to kill
recipes
myself.
for Kevin's purple drink, the creme de violette,
By the way, if you Google that, please leave safe search on. Go ahead.
and this was one of them with scotch. So I was like, that's
this
awesome.
is a Scotch Violet. That's a great name.
Oh, it already
That's
has
what it's
a
called.
name.
It's called a Scotch Violet.
Yes.
So, okay, well, my Manhattan is so insignificant compared to this awesome thing you guys made that I'm just gonna. I bow before your
talking.
Yes.
the amount of effort you put into that drink is amazing.
I thank Kevin for that.
Now, here's the important
You're
part.
welcome.
Kevin opened up a whole new world to me.
Yes.
A flowery new world.
Okay.
With caterpillars on the flowers.
Very nice. Yes. It's a whole new Kevin. But how does it taste?
It tastes pretty good. I like it.
Pretty good, but not great.
It's not like amazing, but it's highly enjoyable.
Would you have another one?
I would. Absolutely.
Is the effort worth having another one?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we gonna
Especially
have
if like the honey stuff is still made, unless Kevin used all of it, and
I
then we
drank
have
it
to
all.
make more. Then fuck it.
All right, so we have to make. Wait, does that mean we have to make honey from scratch? How do you make? I can't.
No,
I'm not gonna fuck a plant and shit out honey. So how do we get more honey?
Yeah. That's a topic.
It's
on
bees, man. Bees make honey. Plants don't make honey. Where the
have,
fuck alternate universe are you from?
For the
North
next
Carolina,
podcast
Oh, that
ideas.
explains
where
it.
we fuck,
Yeah,
we fuck just about whatever we can.
I would like to do a
and-
podcast about bees, so we can talk about honey then.
You know what?
Yeah,
You
that is
guys,
actually interesting. Yeah.
Honestly, you guys should get like put a little beehive outside.
Yeah,
That
we
I
would
talked
looked
take
about
into that. That's
No,
actually very
it's
difficult.
Not
Yeah.
what
Why is
I
that
literally,
difficult?
I wanted to put a beehive into my backyard. It is very difficult.
Why?
No, it's a lot of maintenance.
Yes.
Honeybees
okay.
are
work.
Yeah, you
I
have to
thought
know
you
what
were
you're-
talking about like permits and stupid shit like
well,
that.
there's also that.
You
He's
do have to-
just lazy.
No, you actually do need permits. But
You do. You're not. First of all, topic for a future episode: HOAs.
Oh
and
my
how
god,
fucked up
I
they
can
are.
spend hours talking about
First
HOAs
of all,
and how much
we're
they
not
suck.
allowed any type of
There's
agricultural
a whole other list
animals,
on the back of this paper.
such as bees, chickens, goats. Like our HOA forbids all of that. Any agricultural
Wait,
animals.
bees
Period.
are considered an agricultural.
Oh, bees are absolutely
Absolutely,
an
yeah.
agricultural.
Well, I know that yes, they
Animal.
are an agricultural animal.
You're
but
also
that
not allowed to
counts
keep
for,
them.
Like,
They count. I don't think the HOA would be cool with it if they found out. Now, how much attention they pay to your yard is a whole nother thing.
fuck?
But
HOAs are the worst.
they're the
HOAs,
worst.
need,
I feel
HOAs
like
need to be
let's-
destroyed.
you know what? Your
Save
little
that for another
mulcher
topic.
thing or whatever the green thing that you have out there. What is
Mulcher?
that? What is that? Is that a mulcher or
Composter?
a
You
small
mean the
composter? Yes.
That's black. Are you colorblind? But
I
no,
might
it doesn't
be.
make sense because you can't tell green and black apart.
Some
I might be.
HOAs
It's
don't
a very
allow
dark
it.
green, so you
It's
know
black.
that has that, and it's off to the side. So I don't.
do you think? Do you?
Maybe I'm just
I've
remembering
read
it
enough
wrong.
on bees that I know with the number of garden projects we already have on our docket and
You're
other
already
hobbies and stuff.
pushing it.
Yeah, we're already pushing it, and I looked at like what it takes. Beekeepers go through is a lot. You have to control mites. You have to control diseases. You have to keep the colony like healthy and happy. You have to make sure that they can get to flowers without being poisoned by nearby tobacco fields.
I can barely feed my cat on time. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like raising 1 million cats.
Now,
I just
look,
remember,
if
like,
someone's dedicated
when I
enough,
was-
anybody can learn about beekeeping, and if they're dedicated enough and know what they're getting into, I think it's a great thing to get into. That is certainly approachable, but it's not something we could do right now.
huh.
No,
Well,
it would be
when I
cool if
was
we
in-
could, but it's too much.
When I was in Milwaukee, our next door neighbor had a beehive, and he was like, "It's cool, you know. I built it, and bees come, and I have it, and like, here's honey, and like he had this thing for a few years, and it didn't seem
He'll
like it took that much effort.
If you
No.
give him a chance, he'll tell you about his fucking neighbors.
In Milwaukee?
One of his neighbors has a Tesla. Another one has a fucking boat that they go on a lake
must be
on.
nice.
No, he's not a neighbor.
I hear
He's
these
just a-
stories so many times. Like, oh, so yesterday I was in my neighbor's Tesla, and we were just laughing about the pores and whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, and like all this, I've heard so many. He wealth drops all the time.
Okay,
He
so
absolutely does.
what's next on the list?
So it depends what we want to talk about. I thought so. Before we went on break, I mentioned hummingbirds, and I thought that's a really nice topic because we're actually just talking about bees and things in our backyard. And the first half of this went really dark. I thought a hummingbird is actually an interesting thing because actually
they're cute and pretty.
they are, and there's something so easy to get in your yard. And again, it's very different from anything else we talk about on this fucking podcast. But
Simple syrup, right?
yeah. So Kevin, you okay? So let me ask you this, Kevin. You literally like go out of your way to, like you did the research. You put things outside. You like try to draw as many of these things into your backyard. Why? What is the benefit of hummingbirds?
They're deadly. They have literal.
What
Whoa,
the fuck, man?
Well, we
I
were just
trying
talking
to
about
make
this going
lighter.
so
I'm
dark,
trying to make
and now
this easier. We're talking about neural links and
deadly?
masturbation.
Are these things gonna be
AI
pecking at my
destroying the planet.
eyes?
Fucking red velvet ants eating my
Drilling
balls
into
while
my
I sleep.
temples?
And you're here with hummingbirds that can kill you?
What the? Wow.
What is wrong with you? Why would you bring hummingbirds into your yard if they're deadly?
Thank you for bringing me back to the patriarchy because
Oh
that
my
was
God.
intense. Hummingbirds are like nature are the killers of the avian world. They have like literal spears for beaks.
They're assassins?
No, they're
So
no.
they're
I'm,
cool.
I'm
Are they, like,
exaggerating. They're
bird
very
snipers?
Cool. No, they're not killers unless you're a spider or a bug or something.
Oh,
like
so they
that.
just eat things. That's normal. That doesn't make them
That's
killers.
like a
Their
bat.
beaks.
Yes.
Nature's blind assassin.
That's like
They're not
saying
really blind.
that's like in Skippy. Oh yeah, he's a fucking cow killer because I ate a burger. I am a cow. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's accurate.
You're a pig murderer.
Well,
Oh my God, I've
they
killed
can-
so many things.
They are.
I'm so sorry. So blood everywhere.
They're
Delicious blood.
they do combat with their beaks, but no,
Combat?
they're
Who do they
just really
combat?
cool. I
Like
don't know.
jousting? Do they
Yeah.
joust?
Well,
with
look at their
beaks?
beaks. What do you think?
Wait, can we send them?
That's
to-
cool. I want to see hummingbirds joust.
Oh
That's
my God!
not
Can
even
we
the
put,
reason I like them.
Can we put
the reason I
Neuralinks
like
into
them is
hummingbirds and send them off to war to kill our enemies?
Oh my
They're-
God, hummingbird drones.
They're
They'd be
like-
ew, my neck.
they're like
I can picture that.
they're like the flying.
I would pay taxes to
myrmicorn-
support that.
They're like the iridescent flying murmicorns of your backyard.
What the hell's a marmicorn? Stop making up words. I already
didn't
told
make it
you.
up. It's a real
if we
thing.
can't have
Google-
marmagasms, I don't want marmicorns.
Duck, duck, go it. They're a real thing.
Is that like an
Myrmicorns
alicorn
are
only
real-
without wings or
It's
something?
a fucking unicorn crossed with a mermaid, dumbass.
Oh my God, I have
Think
such a
about
Woody
it.
right now.
Read a book.
Of course you
Wait,
do.
did you say a mermaid mixed with a unicorn?
Yeah.
How would that even happen?
Wait,
what
wouldn't
kind
that
of
be,
wait?
wouldn't
Wait.
it make
I
more
want-
sense to have? Wait, does it have wings?
Yeah, so they're
Okay. If it didn't have wings, then it would be a mermaid crossed with a narwhal. But
it's
yeah,
kind of like a mermaid cross
What is
with
that-
a
what is-
unicorn cross with a fairy or a pegasus.
What does
because
that
of the
Tinder
wings. That's a
profile
very
look
good
like?
point.
oh dude, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh my God.
So
Half horn can't fly. I
I've
don't
known
know.
about alicorns, but the marmicorn
what the fuck is an
new.
alicorn?
What the f-
An
Yeah.
alicorn is
Is that an elk?
it's a unicorn and a pegasus, so it's like a flying unicorn.
Wait, a unicorn and a pegasus.
Yeah, unicorn, pegasus get busy. They have a baby with
Ah.
wings and a horn.
So they're an alicorn.
They're an
Where does that
alicorn.
word even come from?
Yeah, what's
I don't
Pegasus
know.
Yeah.
doesn't
I don't
even-
know. My
Well-
daughter told me this. She's like, Dad, do you know what happens when a unicorn fucks a pegasus? get
You
an
might want to
alicorn."
monitor your
Is
daughter's web browsing habits.
Yeah, no, she's cool.
He's not a helicopter
doesn't
parent.
sound
It's
like it.
okay.
That's right. I'm not a helicopter
Hey,
parent.
it sounds like he just throws his
She
kids
plays
into
in-
mud
she
and let
plays
them.
in the mud.
I
Oh,
do.
she plays
I
in the
do.
mud.
Cool.
How much of that mud did she eat?
Probably a significant amount, which is
Whatever
why she has
wheel
such a
bug
good
doesn't
immune
kill
system.
her makes her stronger.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
So
Whoa, go back to the marmicorn now. I want to learn
I thought
the.
we were talking about hummingbirds.
No. We went from hummingbirds to marmicorn.
Can we
I
attract
wanna know-
Wait, can I get marmicorns in my
Yeah,
backyard?
that would
That's
be
That
awesome.
when
sounds
you
so much
cross
better than hummingbirds.
Marmalade with a unicorn. It's mermicorn, asshole.
Oh, fuck.
So here's the deal.
Marmalade is so hard to make, though.
Wasn't that like
I
your
love you, Kevin.
wedding cake flavor?
Marmalade? Don't get me started on my fucking wedding cake. I
Alright,
will.
no, stop. That's another episode.
fuck
I'm
this.
sorry I
You're
brought it up.
fucking
It gets-
an hour late with the wrong cake.
I wasn't there, so
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Shit friend you are.
Uh-huh.
So
People
hummingbirds and mermicorns.
Threw the wedding cake in the garbage because.
So hummingbirds, what do you want to know about them? Do you know a photographer recently was taking pictures of hummingbirds as if they weren't magical enough and against like the sun, and his photographs came out with a prismatic effect from their wings spreading.
That's
So
cool.
not only are they the mermicorns of your backyard,
Which
that
we still
eat-
don't know what
I
that
can't
means.
keep track of all these
which
names.
eat
I really
spiders
can't.
and mosquitoes and other things that can kill or maim you in the south.
So-
But when they spread their wings against the setting sun, it creates a scientific prismatic effect.
So now,
They make rainbows with their fucking tail feather.
What? I don't. Okay. First of all, there's way too many words being thrown around that I can't possibly keep track
The
of.
photographer's name is Christian Spencer. I want to give him credit.
Why? What has he done for you?
He photographed a diffraction effect with hummingbird feathers against the sun.
That's
It's called
impressive.
winged prism, and it's only visible in the photographs.
that's pretty cool.
So definitely check out his work because he also did a video documentary on hummingbirds and stuff. But
So okay, I'm now school me on this, and I might be just ignorant of it.
Patriarchy.
Now, I thought that hummingbirds ate like sweet stuff, like nectar and whatever, like sugar water you put out. But it seems like they also eat mosquitoes and other bugs.
Apparently,
So
they kill terrorists.
is that accurate? Like,
why not both?
no, and that's totally, that seems very. It seems like hummingbirds are kind of the omnivores of the bird kingdom. There, they eat both of it. Like they like
Most
the
birds
sweet-
are omnivores.
Yes, I know that. But
They're
I'm
the
saying-
omnivores of the thing that there are.
I thought they were like the vegans, the gluten-free vegans of the bird kingdom.
Now
If
you're
it was,
offending
if it
us.
wasn't for their celiacs.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I didn't know that. Thank you for schooling me. But I thought their mouth apparatus was specifically made for nectar and drinking stuff and everything. Like, that-
Yeah, actually,
Why
I'm-
not both?
No, but I'm actually the same way.
They
I
also use it to stab spiders and other bugs.
I didn't know that either. I
That's
assumed
pretty
that
cool.
because it looks like they shoot these little tongues out of their mouths and they
Yeah.
literally
have
drink
like,
nectar.
I don't know if it's. I'm gonna make an ornithologist's brain explode, but their tongues
You're making
either
a thing with your
split or they
hands,
have,
but this
like,
is a
two
podcast. The visual
tongues
aids
that
don't
come
work.
out of the end and slurp up
So
the
they
nectar.
have so they're like
Their tongues like
Japanese
literally slurp
hentai
up.
tentacle
Wow.
stuff now. Like,
Loaded.
Wait, do they kill or fuck the spiders?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Like I said, myrmidons. So they drink both insects for protein, nectar for energy. It's kind of like, if you wanted to
Whoa! Why'd you point at me? What do you mean? I know.
if you wanted to
I don't have some weird sexual
bulk up
hummingbird
and do some
fantasy.
P90, you'd have some carbs first, and then you'd have some protein. Right? Is that how it goes?
That actually is very accurate. How do you
So
know?
that's what
How do you know?
hummingbirds do. They're the
Wait.
bodybuilders of the avian kingdom.
That's interesting. But I'm
or
assuming.
family.
But
or
here's the thing: I
whatever the
assume
fuck
most
it is.
animals know what kind of diet to consume before and after certain activities. Like they know what they need for energy versus what they need to recover after said activity.
Hummingbirds need like sustenance like every 15 minutes or something, unless that's an internet myth. But yeah, they flap their wings so many times per second that they need that sugar to sustain the energy it takes to get for their heart to. Oh no, it's their heart beats really fast in addition to their wings flapping. So they need the
believe
sugar to sustain their insanely fast heartbeats.
usually, the
And-
smaller the animal, the faster its heartbeat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
heartbeats.
But now
yeah.
that I'm thinking about it, I heard that about mice.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what is it? The
So Jerry and I are very short, so that means our heart beats very quickly
yes.
versus like a normal person,
Sure.
right?
So, anyway,
Oh,
hummingbirds.
well,
what
either
do you
that or
want-
every time Jerry walks into a room, my heart beats really fast.
you could say it's a flutter. Hummingbirds.
Aw.
Kevin's gonna be a little bit sick, I think.
So,
I think
Well,
he
he
just
has
threw
been-
up a little bit in his mouth.
yes. What else would you like to know about hummingbirds?
I already learned so much.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what I could possibly learn. I feel like I need to be slowly walked through this because I think they're like really cute little birds that drank sugar water. You told me they're like literally deadly ninja assassins
If you're a spider
that are just
or
like,
a bug, then they're deadly.
I could kill,
or if
but
you're
I'm going to
another
drink some sugar
hummingbird
water
or a
instead.
critter that pisses them off, then yes, they're deadly.
Do they have any interesting mating habits? Because some birds do some crazy ass shit like mating habits. Like
Like
they'll some birds
Oh,
like
yeah,
have
like-
crazy dances and they like
Didn't
have
John
feathers.
Belushi make
that
a
put
movie
up
where he
their
talked about how
wings.
eagles mate midair? Sorry.
I don't know, but
No,
like
I'm
they'll
the
do
patriarchy.
dances and like weird shit, and like
Oh yeah, the males do this dance thingy. Someone just documented that. Some researcher just figured out like the males learn different fly dances for their mating habits
fucking
for hummingbirds.
patriarchy.
But that's relatively new information.
Always keeping the male hummingbird down.
Yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, they have that. I haven't looked into actual hummingbird copulation, but I know that I did read that the males kind of back off from feeding while the females while the females are raising the young, but they're very
They
territorial.
go back to
with
their
the
man
feeders.
cave and
All hummingbirds are
Men
very
nest. It's a men
territorial
nest. Yeah.
with the feeders, though. Some people who get lots of hummingbirds have to put up a couple feeders so that they don't fight each other, because they will fight each
That's
other.
interesting. See,
Yeah.
now I'd put up one feeder and like a high-speed camera and get like awesome fucking footage, like slow motion footage of like hummingbird battles.
Oh my god, dude, you know what? You're the first person who thought of
Oh,
that.
like the hummingbird battle royale.
Yeah, no one ever thought of doing that. No
pretty
one.
sure
There's
it's
not
just-
1,000 videos on YouTube of exactly what the fuck you're talking
Well,
about.
I'm sorry, I haven't
You know what?
been like
Oh, I got a good
searching-
idea. Why don't you put a fucking vlog online? No one's ever done that before.
Fuck you, Skippy.
That's right. Anyway.
Fuck you hard. Fuck you rough.
But I feel like for our one listener, it's important to point out if you're thinking of getting into like hummingbird feeders, just you
Get a
can't
real
just, like,
job and reevaluate your
You
life.
can't just fuck you. Fill that hummingbird, not you.
Fuck
Fuck
you.
Skippy.
Fill that hummingbird. I'm like really bad imagery right now.
I
in my
don't
head.
recommend just filling that
Feathers.
sucker up with sugar water and then letting them drink it all up over the course of a month or two.
Pour
because
monster in there,
you need to
and you'll see
empty
those
it and
fuckers
clean
take
it.
off.
You know, depending on the temperature, a couple times a week to every other day, because it
Okay,
can-
Kevin, I have
it's
a better idea.
unhealthy for
Why don't
them
we-
if they
you-
drink
I feel like
moldy water.
I feel like you need like a side podcast where you just describe things like, attracting birds, bees,
That would be awesome.
gardening. Yeah, seriously, maybe you should do your own podcast on the side that explains all this.
Or I could
Kevin's
just bust your balls
outdoor-
about it.
Yeah,
No,
It's
like
way
Kevin, you
more
should
fun.
start like a whole outdoorsy thing.
yeah,
That'd be pretty
you
awesome.
should.
It's called My Backyard.
Yeah, Kevin's backyard.
Once again,
No!
when you Google that, once again, please keep Safe Search on.
Moving on, fake guacamole.
Oh
Was
yeah,
that
this is an
something
experiment.
we're gonna talk about?
Yeah, it's like a little thing. It's an experiment that I tried. Okay, so for
Wait,
those
like
that
that time with the ball gag, or
with the yeah, the one time.
What?
I don't learn my lesson easily. So really quick. So I put this up on Twitter before. So I love. It's not really guacamole. I love avocados. What I do, like,
It's a vegetable smash.
yeah, it basically is just take guacamole and just beat the fuck out of it into this paste, and then you add a couple more things and you make this guacamole thing. Well, the problem is that like avocados are pretty expensive and they're not readily available in some areas. So I found some recipe that says that you can basically take broccoli and use broccoli as an alternative to avocados. You can
They
make this
seem like
guacamole recipe.
very different things.
They are very different things. So here's the whole problem. Because if you make guacamole out of avocados, besides the fact that it's very tasty, it's also very healthy. It's good for you. Avocados are one of the best things you can eat. This recipe with broccoli has like 5 or 6 ingredients. Like, for example, things like, I think you have to like add like mayo or something like that to it. I don't even remember at this point.
Mayor.
Are they only
Yeah.
choosing broccoli because it's the same
Or sour
color?
cream, actually.
That's like, oh, you don't have bananas? Use pineapple. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it's-
kind of yellow.
Yeah, that's the thing. It came out to one of those things. It's like, okay, here, you want to use broccoli? Good. You'll use broccoli, sour cream, semen, oil, and a bunch of other things that you have readily lying around, or I guess I do. And you just sort of make this concoction, and it's the same thing as guacamole. The problem is that A, it doesn't taste anything like guacamole. The second problem is it's not healthy for you because you've now ejected and ejaculated into it. And the other thing is that it's also more. You're not really saving any money because you have so many more ingredients. So you have a thing that's So more expensive, not as healthy, and doesn't taste as good. So, yeah.
Thanks for ruining guacamole, asshole.
No, I'm not ruining guacamole. I'm saving guacamole. What I'm saying is, don't look for alternatives. Guacamole is amazing. I happen to really love it. Or like avocado spread, whatever. I know it's a millennial thing, but the point is, there is no alternative recipe for avocados. I'm sorry if avocados are too expensive for you. Just swallow the cost, so you don't have to swallow the semen that goes into the alternative recipe, and just make legitimate guacamole. I'm sorry, there is no replacement for fucking avocados. I tried it.
So you fuck avocados too?
Well,
I guess, the natural fat kind of acts as a lubricant. And do you have to take the big nut out of it first before you
before you bust it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps, I guess. Anyway, this was this really, really stupid minor topic. Don't find alternatives for avocados. There's no need for it. Just fucking buy avocados. Spend a couple extra bucks, and you're gonna have much more delicious results. That was the culinary segment of the podcast. What do we want to move on next? Oh, I know. Since we're talking about
ejaculating into plants.
Yes. I feel like we talk about that every podcast.
Not even
There is no. I was very surprised, Kevin. You mentioned something interesting on here. Board games that actually. Wait. I want to read this exactly. Board games that I can stay awake through.
Yeah.
So board games.
What does that mean,
No. Because board games is something that we cover very often on this, and I feel really bad because Jerry and Kevin, you and just to a lesser degree, start getting into board games, and you guys explain all the stuff like. What's the big one called?
Gloomhaven.
Like Gloomhaven, for example, and that other German Scheisse board game that you play with your kids.
Oh, Third and Taxis?
Yeah. And so the thing is, like, okay, so first of all, we talked about before that board games in general have had what I think is like a huge renaissance. Like, I really do. It seems like for a while...
Yeah, like Vulgar Needlepoint.
Yeah, no. Board games definitely have made like a huge comeback, and that's really, really awesome because... First of all, board games are something that, you gather around and you play with friends. It's a very communal thing. It's a very social thing. But the other thing is that it's also a very kind of like...
Tactile?
Yes, thank you. It's a tactile and involving thing. It's not something on a screen. It's not something whatever. It's something you kind of like... Yeah, you interact with in a very, very cool way. So, but the problem is everybody has a certain interest and limitation when it comes to board games. So, Kevin, when you mentioned board games that can keep you awake, I know there's only a certain kind of genre that you're interested in, and it's very easy for a person who doesn't spend a lot of time playing it to kind of like just start, pick up a new game they don't know a lot about, and within like a few minutes just be like, I don't give a shit about this. And the problem is when you start playing a new board game you're not very familiar with, when you start playing it, by the time you learn the rules, by the time you actually play a couple of rounds, you all of a sudden realize, oh my god, this is so fucking not interesting, and you stop caring about it, and rules and process and everything else completely goes out the window. So when you talk about board games that do quote unquote keep you awake and keep your interest, like what are you talking about?
I mean, you just told me to write a list, so I just
Nice.
wrote a list.
Okay.
Although Munchkin stands out.
Okay, yes.
Monopoly, I generally kick everyone's ass in Monopoly, and
Yes.
that's all there is to it. Munchkin,
Which is funny
Rick and
because-
Morty Munchkin was pretty excellent.
By the way, I find this funny that you're actually so...
I like
you hate the
squirrels, I
idea of
like,
capitalism, but you're so good at Monopoly.
Do you know about the history of Monopoly?
I do, but why don't you tell everybody? We actually
Because
talked about
I'm
this.
not sure I have the facts straight on it, but I'll try
No,
to summarize.
but you know the general story.
So
about
it was
it.
a woman...
Jerry, do you know the story of Monopoly?
No, I don't think so.
This is actually really interesting. Go ahead.
The Monopoly was actually, back to the patriarchy, designed by a woman
God damn it.
who was trying to teach children about the evils of capitalism.
It's the
And,
ultimate backfire.
Her
You don't have to-
her game failed.
No, her game did not fail.
Well, her game didn't fail because was it Parker Brothers or something?
her game was
took it
actually
over.
very popular, which is why Parker Brothers bought it.
And then they
And
turned
they
it
completely
into
flipped
a
it,
game
yeah.
that promotes capitalism.
Right.
And-
Or made it into like a
One
fun
of
little
us.
whimsical thing. Yes.
One of us.
Yeah.
And that's how we got Monopoly.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty interesting thing, actually.
See, now...
It was either the Atlantic or the Guardian that wrote a story covering her. If you are interested in learning more about it. It was very interesting, but I've forgotten a lot. I've forgotten her name, which is terrible.
It's okay. Facts are not important on this podcast.
Exactly.
In America 2019, facts don't matter. You can
The
say
men
whatever.
get all the credit anyway, so...
Exactly. It's the Parker
Why
Brothers
does it matter
executives
if I
that
remember
made
her
the.
name?
Wait a minute. Patriarchy and Parker Brothers both start with P.
Oh wow! It's the Illuminati.
Patriarchy
I see.
Brothers. Oh
No.
shit.
So now what I've found, or I've like, I see like people getting pigeonholing games. So
I don't know.
now, no, okay. So
Well,
I
what's it?
introduced Skippy to a new game this weekend, and like I feel bad because I just wrecked him every game. I just wrecked him, and you know, like it's considered a board game, I guess, but it was like a card game. We only played.
I'm sorry. What was that wrecked in?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I
which game are we
destroyed
talking
you every game. The
Which
Cthulhu game, Tides of Madness. Right? Am I remembering that correctly? I think I won every game.
Her name was Elizabeth J. Phillips, and she invented the Landlords game, which was the precursor to Monopoly, according to Wikipedia.
Awesome derailment of that.
To illustrate the teachings of the progressive era economist Henry George. And
Speak
she
up,
was a
Kevin. We
Georgist.
can't
I
hear
don't know what Georgists
Yeah, Kevin.
are,
If
so.
you want to make your point, you have to raise your voice a little bit.
I'm not
If you want to fight the
entirely
if you want to fight the
convinced it's you
patriarchy,
guys
you
are
really
worth
have
it.
to kind of speak up.
But
Yeah.
Oh no, go on.
That's all.
Oh, okay. But like, so now there are like card games. They're like card games like Magic the Gathering. There are card games like Tides of Madness that we were playing, which has like a total of like I think 21 cards in the whole game, and that's all there is. And then there's card games like, you know, picking up a deck of 51 cards or 52 cards.
Like
you know, so like
the traditional card
yeah,
games.
it's really hard to pigeon.
Like strip poker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To like, you know, if someone says like, "Oh, it's a card game, it's a board game," I feel like there's a lot of wiggle room in there. So if I say to like Kevin, "Hey, do you want to play this game?" and they see me pull out a bunch of cards, they might mentally be like, "Oh, it's a card game. It's like Magic the Gathering. I want nothing to do with it." So like at what point do you say, "Okay, I'm open to that," or "This is going to put me to sleep"?
So maybe
personally,
maybe they shouldn't be called board games. They should be called tabletop games.
that's a good suggestion. But like and like with my wife personally, if I have to spend more than 7.5 seconds telling her the rules, she's not interested.
Oh, well, that's because of the patriarchy.
Oh, okay. But like I personally enjoy Euro games, which is usually more of an engine building thing, something like Power Grid or Terraforming Mars or Caverna or something where you spend the game takes like a couple of hours.
I think you lost Kevin.
The point
Sorry,
at
he's
which,
phasing out.
like, to your question, where my eyelids cover more than 50% of my pupil, which is happening right now, like, that's where...
Okay.
It just,
So after
it's kind
2
of a
minutes of
try and
explanation...
see when my eyelids are impeding my vision, and that's how I know.
So for you, that's 2 minutes of explanation.
From you.
What about from
Wait.
Kevin?
Oh.
From Skippy, I mean.
I don't think the burn unit is open at the local hospital.
Sucks to be you.
We're gonna have to take him there because ouch.
Whew.
Get the lotion
Gotcha.
because of the 3rd degree.
I
Anyway,
like it when Skippy talks about lotion.
Oh my gosh.
Back to fake guacamole.
No. Oh my god, yeah, avocados. By the way, seriously, like they totally work on that as well. If you want to, it's oily.
I know, that's why you made so many babies with them.
Wow.
Oh my god, how many avocados did I fuck? Anyway.
I don't know, but
Looking
I know how
around
many
your
babies
house, I
you
can
have.
see at least
Oh
7.
yeah. Okay, so a lot of people won't know. So just really quick, so I want to point out the fact that for some reason, I developed a weird thing for propagation. where I like to take plants that we have or like things that we buy, like produce, and actually like develop plants for that. So like we buy avocados, and after we eat them, or apparently fuck them, we take the seeds and we try to grow avocado plants from that.
Yeah, that's
and
like a millennial
everything.
trope. You're not unique.
So you murder
I'm not
them.
saying I'm unique. I'm saying it's really good. I like the thing. It's not about. I enjoy the act of like instead of going to like a nursery or a plant store and buying seeds or plants that are already developed. I like the idea of taking like a clipping or a seed or whatever and starting a plant from that. That to me is more interesting.
You're recycling.
Jerry's
Plants.
eyelids are like covering half his pupil right now.
No, I think I'm fine.
Well,
I
if they made propagation into a really boring board game, he'd be all over it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's
all
true.
It takes
I'd totally be on
Okay,
that.
so hold on, but we totally
It's
derailed
called
from
your
that.
house.
So here, nice. So here's the thing. So, but you're the one who put this topic on the list, Kevin. Talking about board games.
You
that
told
keep
me to
you
make
awake.
a list.
I know, and you made a list, but
And
here's the-
now you're paying the price.
you've been so passionate, but you've been so passionate about some of these topics, and I feel like you're kind of like copping out on this one.
Yeah, that's like, oh, gasoline's on this list. Yeah,
Copping
put in
out
my
on
car.
which one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Copping out on what? What am I copping out on?
What kind of I've tried to get you to play certain board games, and you're not interested. So, what kind of board games would keep you awake? What are you looking for? I can tell you right now the kind of games that I'm interested in. But what are you like? What
I told you Munchkin's pretty good.
Munchkin's-
Cards Against Humanity, which I know is a personal favorite.
Oh,
Oh,
Get the
he
fuck
doesn't
out.
like
Oh my
that.
God.
I'll
Get
play
the-
that with you, Kevin.
Get the
I'll play
fuck out of
Cards
here with Cards
you.
Against Humanity. That's crap.
Why is
Cards
it crap?
because Cards Against Humanity is the same joke over and over and over and over again.
Oh, you
it's
mean like-
funny for the first couple of rounds, and then like I told Jerry earlier, it's haha butt sex and Hitler. It's always
So, like,
That was
hanging out
amazing.
with you?
that was the same thing. What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, that slipped out by accident. No, but it's the same thing. Everybody picks the same thing. Like, okay, you get a sentence. Like, it's kind of like a really repetitive game of Mad Libs. It's not funny after a couple of rounds. It's
You're
the
just
same
playing
thing.
it with the wrong people.
No, actually, that's the only reason why I've actually ever played it is because some of the people I play with are pretty funny because they kind of like expand on the cards that they pick. But in general, the cards are the same. It's just the same joke over and over and over again. It's not funny.
Yeah,
It
he
gets-
doesn't need a game for that. He can just, like, run his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. I can talk and make myself laugh all the time. Man, I can't wait
least
for the
there's
newer
one of
like.
us.
All right, fine. So if we're not going to be covering board game, because
Okay, what else? What other board games
No, what
have we played that
Well, so
I stayed awake through?
I am very fortunate in the fact that I am.
I do love board games, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm
more
very
of them.
fortunate in the fact that I'm friends with somebody like Jerry who tries out all these different kind of board games with other people, and then he introduces me to them, and then I either like them or hate them. But for example, like you mentioned, what's the name of the Cthulhu Lovecraft game that you
Tides
mentioned?
of Madness.
Okay, so Tides of Madness, excuse me, is a very simple game. It's literally like a small deck of cards and a couple of like tokens or madness tokens. When he showed it to me, I was like, "Oh god, this is gonna be like this looks lame. Like it looks way too simple."
Well, now you know the truth.
No, I told him that. No, he when he laid out, I was like, oh, okay, but I will try them. The whole point is like I like to be surprised. And then we played one round, and I was like, oh my god, this game is awesome.
It's got really deep and several levels of
Yeah,
strategy.
there's really great mechanics that are thrown into that game. One of the best things that people can do with these games is that they somehow figure out the relationships between all the different things that you can do in this game and all the different ways you can win, and they kind of almost the simplicity of these games makes it almost more gives each player more an opportunity to explore different ways to win. So, for example, we played something like 4 games, right? And the first 3, I destroyed Jerry. Like, I destroyed him.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
why you wanted
No,
to
I'm
be
Yeah.
talking about
Like,
this.
I mean, he had to go
you
upstairs.
just wanted it
and
documented for all of history
Yeah.
on the internet.
No,
and you
I did
destroyed him
cry
for
in the
it.
shower
He
for like
yeah,
half an hour.
he did. Like, he
Is that
took
where you were?
It was
he took it
rough.
really bad. Like, I mean, I had to like comfort him. And
I
he had
was
to-
looking for red velvet ants or whatnot.
Yeah, like he was eating termites in our backyard.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. And then in the last game, I thought I was ahead. I was winning. I was confident. I was about to just dick slap him, right? I was totally like just in charge of the game, and then the last round came up, and he not only beat me, he embarrassed me. Okay, like it was the most demeaning, emasculating win ever, and it was awesome. It was just great, and I think that's one of the things. Honestly, I actually think that's one of the greatest things about some of these games. It's when you lose that you really appreciate this game, these games, because you realize that like the person that beat you didn't beat you because he rolled the dice and it rolled a 7 versus you rolling a 6. It's not because he happened to have like reached into a deck of cards and pulled out a queen when you pulled out a jack. It's the fact that like he had the strategy going along and he applied it and executed it throughout the game. And when he did the I gotcha thing at the end, it was awesome. Like it was great. Like I lost that game, but it was fantastic. Like I had a huge smile on my face going when I realized that when it hit me that I was beaten. It was great. It was really, really awesome.
Yeah, because
I think that's what makes a really great fucking game. When all of a sudden, when you're like, oh, I got this. I got the strategy. This dumb motherfucker, he doesn't even know what's about to hit him. I got this, and this. And then he like flips over a card and you go, oh no, he's been planning this for like 3 or 4 rounds. Oh no, there's no coming back for this. That's fantastic. That's great. That means the game has so much depth and so much thought that has gone into it before we even began playing it. It makes it really rewarding. Losing the game makes it rewarding. That's to me what makes a great board game.
Wow, that's really deep. So what you're saying is you have a fetish for feeling intellectually inferior, and that's why you married your wife.
Well, no. What?
Is she a dominatrix? Because
Oh
that
my
would
God.
be totally hot.
We're talking... Is this a different topic on this list that I didn't see?
She's
That's
bringing it
nice.
around to the
Okay.
dominatrix from the first half of the episode. I think.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. But anyway, but you're talking about games that make you stay awake. For me, it's not even...
Someone made a Jackson Pollock in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to go take care of that.
I'm going to
Yeah.
get them up.
You clean that.
Nice, I will. But anyway,
And then you're going to pay me.
to me, that's what makes a great game.
for the
To me,
No,
it's the process of playing the game. It's even if you lose, you feel like you just went through this whole thing, and it's very rewarding.
I agree, and
Yeah.
it's not. Linear.
It's not about winning; it's about playing the game, basically. Like,
Right.
that's the best way I can describe it.
Right, but you're also saying it's not just like I need to get the most of the most widgets to win. It's I can go this path or I could go that path.
Yes, exactly.
Or you know what? I could throw the game and I'm not going to necessarily win, but I'm going to take out my opponent.
Yeah,
and, you
exactly.
know, it's like
'Cause everything's about strategy, right? And it's rarely like it's greatly rewarding when you come across a strategy, whether it's your own or the person you're playing with, when it's something new and original. And if it's somebody who defeats you and you didn't see it coming, it's like, holy shit! Like I never thought of that. That's really fucking brilliant. It just takes it to like another level for me, basically. Those are the games that make it interesting for me.
Okay, so those are board games that you can stay awake through. That's nice.
we asked you about
You
the
were
board
at,
games
you had
that
to
you
discuss, and
you
you're
were
like, oh, can we go back to the fake
not
avocado?
Well, I told you, Munchkin, Cards Against
This-
Humanity.
By the way, I just want to point out, this right here is why the patriarchy always wins.
I'm pretty good at Trivial Pursuit, but I don't think you guys like that.
Trivial Pursuit?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cute.
is it?
That's adorable. Okay, so...
Go clean my bathroom, bitch.
Nice. Okay, so there's one more topic I want to talk about before, and I think at this point we have to wrap up. Because even though this thing
What
is...
are we at, like 4 hours now?
No. We're at our typical time, actually. But I did...
3.
Yeah. So this is a topic that actually we touched upon. By the way, everything we talked about, just stop. Clean cut. Like, we're starting completely on a whole new path. I am personally considering about buying an electric car, okay? Wow.
What's the matter, Kevin? You have something against the environment?
Yeah,
No,
Kevin.
I'm just gonna be hearing about this till Kingdom Come.
It's funny because you said come. Anyway, so the thing is, but okay. So here's the thing: electric cars are becoming they're way far from becoming mainstream. So far, the electric cars, and I'm not talking about just Teslas. I'm talking about electric cars. They're way from they're really really far from being like the dominant vehicle that people buy. There's nice. So they're pretty popular, and people are purchasing them, and they're doing really well. The purchase of electric cars is like a fraction of combustion cars, but for some reason, there's this weird thing that bothers me about this, and that has to do with etiquette of electric cars, right? So, right now, when you drive to your friend's house, or, your family's house, or whatever the case happens to be, let's just use friends as an example in this case. You get to your friend's house, you get out of your car, you walk into their house, you hang out, you do your thing. When the night is done, you get back in your car, and you drive home, right? So, when you have an electric car, you're faced with a sort of a different challenge. Range on these things is not as great, and for the most part, when you have an electric car, one of the things you kind of want to consider is, hey, where can I plug in next? So when you drive to the home of one of your friends, you might want to, be like, hey, can I plug in my car while I'm here so that I have enough juice in my vehicle to get home? Now, the etiquette of that, for some reason, is really interesting to me, because at some point, more and more people are going to have electric cars. So what's going to happen when you get to your friend's house? Are you going to walk in and just kind of say like, hey, which outlet can I use to plug my car in? And is your friend going to then be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not going to recharge your fucking car while you're at my house. And I wanted to kind of really quickly touch on all those, like all the little social etiquette things that come along with that.
But like, and I totally see that. But how often do you foresee that happening? Like, how often are you going to be that far from your friend that you're going to need that kind of top off where you can't make it home? And now, like, is it going to be like, oh God, Skippy's here. He has to go home with a full battery. I know he lives 10 miles away or 15 miles away, but he needs to top off to, because he can't make it that 10 miles home.
Okay, so let me ask that question. So, for example, one of the cars I'm considering is a Nissan Leaf. Okay, so if you buy a new Nissan Leaf, the range is pretty significant. But if you're somebody who's in the used car market, you're going to buy a used one where the range could be anywhere between 70 to as little as 40 fucking miles, okay? I have friends that live 30, 40 miles away, for example, okay?
You have friends that live a lot further than that, but you never visit them.
No, because those friends are fucking garbage. I wouldn't waste the electricity or the gas to visit these people,
Yeah,
okay?
I understand.
Right, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm coming from.
Do they have calendars?
Huh? They do. They also have mirrors. Go look at one.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that it's more like a precaution thing. Whether people want to admit or deny it, range anxiety is still like a real thing when it comes to electric cars. So if I drive to a friend's house, and let's say it's okay, for example, let's say it's somebody who's not that far, right? It doesn't matter. If the range of my car is 80 miles and somebody lives like 30 miles away, is it going to be normal to get to their house and say, hey, while I'm here, can I just charge up my car? And how is that going to be different from you coming into the person's house and saying, hey, my cell phone is dying, can I plug my cell phone in? Hey, like any number of things. So we started this whole conversation about it, and we were trying to sort of figure out, again, like where the difference between the consumption of your friends' resources, at which point do they become okay, at which point do they become intrusive, at which point do they become rude.
I don't know, maybe when they drink all your Prosecco.
Wow, what fucking asshole would do that?
Holy shit!
No, but that's perfectly.
Kevin just dropped the call. No, but that's one of the things we talked about.
Right.
When your friend comes to your house and drinks all your beer, are you gonna be like, dude, you owe me like $15 for all the beer you drank? You're not gonna say that.
Yeah.
So why is that different when he wants $1 of electricity from your house?
It's perception. You
yes,
get
absolutely.
an electric bill. And you're like, oh, like I remember my father yelling at us.
You get a credit card bill though.
No. I understand that, but again, it's just perception. I remember my father yelling at us because we were wasting electricity by keeping the back door open when the air conditioning was on, or holding the refrigerator door open for too long. But like, if you're like, hey man, you want a beer? Like that, you don't think of as having any kind of real underlying cost. It's a social sharing. You're sharing a beer with your friend. You probably don't think of like, hey man, you want a couple of bucks of electricity? While, plugging your car in for an hour is going to cost less than a beer.
Right.
It's just a different perception. And like, to your point, I think there's some... there's going to have to be a period where society adjusts to that. But,
well, like, I wonder if... Okay, so let's think it this way, right? Let's say, for example, it has to be with the choices that we make, right? So, for example, you have a gas-powered vehicle, right? So, let's say...
Oh, and that makes me a bad person? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just checking.
Yeah, good, yeah. So, let's say, okay, so you have a gas-powered car, and you're like, well, you know what? I have a gas-powered car, and that's the car that I have for whatever reason, right? So every once in a while, I have to drive to a gas station. I have to put it full of gas, right? And not only is that an inconvenience, but there's also a cost associated with it. So then somebody comes to your house and say, "Hey, can I plug my car into it?" And you're like, "Well, no, you decided to buy an electric car. That's your decision. You want an electric car. You fucking deal with it."
Right.
I don't come to your house and say, "Hey, can I borrow a couple of bucks to go get gas?" Every fucking time I visit your house. Why the hell are you sipping my electricity? Right? But at the end of but the problem is that electricity is way cheaper than gas. And if you look at it this way, one of the points that I made before off the record was electricity is a utility. Somebody comes to your house and flushes your toilet. Are you going to jump in there and go, whoa, you used my water.
Yeah,
you now owe me X amount of money because you used the water. Same thing with electricity, though.
Yeah, no, because there you're talking about using like 0.2 of a cent worth of water compared to like $2 worth of electricity.
But then they're
both utilities, but you're talking about like an order or two of magnitude difference in price. Granted, it's still $2, but I mean...
But then you're talking about cost of consumption, and once again, you're back into your example. If somebody comes to your house and it's like, hey, can I get a beer? And you're like, yeah, well, that beer is going to cost more than the amount of electricity you're going to get from the house. So
it's perception, too.
Yeah, but I feel like that perception needs to, we need to make that adjustment as soon as possible. Because I don't think the companies that control this shit are going to make it for us. I fear that if there's some weird prevalent opinion on the internet with people like plugging your car into your house while they happen to be visiting you, then what's going to happen is that some company is just going to make some dumbass fucking app or a stupid fucking service that's going to try to monetize that in some way. And you brought up some examples. You said, oh, okay, so what's possible is that maybe you have an app that connects to your car, and when you plug it into a friend's house, that app figures out how much electricity you've used while being plugged into your friend's house. And when you come home, it somehow transfers that cost to your electric bill, right? Right. Well, who benefits from that except from that fucking company?
Or you just, don't waste time out of your short life with people who you don't like spending time with enough to give them a few dollars worth of electricity.
Well, that's my approach. I think that's the way it should go.
I just push everyone away who isn't an avian myrmicorn of the sky, and I sit
I'm more of an
back
albacore person. I'm sorry.
And eat my genuine avocado guacamole and watch the flying hummingbird prisms and live my life, and I don't have to worry about any
of those things cost so much more than to refuel my car, though.
That's a good point, though, because then you're like, oh, every time Skippy comes here, he's like, hey man, can I get some of your electricity and
drink your prosecco?
No, exactly. I think if that happens,
you're really laying into him for drinking your prosecco.
Man, thanks for the guilt trip.
Like a personal thing.
Yeah. If it happens now and then, that might be one thing, but after every time, it's okay, this guy's just a mooch.
If you're talking about the friend that comes over once a week to do that,
yeah, exactly.
I don't have friends like that. It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, but hold on. But that's the thing. First of all, I'm not talking about the friends that literally stop by on the way home from work every day and like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm just here to
No,
use your bathroom. Let me plug my car in. I'm talking about people that like you see once in a while. They're like, hey, I'm here for your birthday or
Right.
whatever the fuck. Hey, I'm in my driveway. Do you mind if I plug my car in?
Right. Which is...
And by the way, you're then running into another thing because then like let's say
You have 5 people. Who
yeah,
don't
let's say like
Exactly.
let's say like
That's
20
what
friends
seems
show up and they're like, hey,
if it's
where do
one
I?
person, it's no
Yeah,
big
I
deal.
really
If it's
need-
5 people, it's a problem.
Yeah, but here's the problem: all those 20 people are still gonna use your bathroom, drink your beer, and do all that. They're still gonna be costing you.
Yeah, it's
a
called
specific
hosting
amount of
a
money.
party. It costs money.
So my question is: at what point is hosting people at your house going to involve and be acceptable, where they can literally plug their fucking vehicles into your house?
I mean, anytime you host a party, some people are gonna try to see what they can get out of it, and other people are
Yeah.
just there to hang out.
The
And it's
problem
just-
is-
Oh no, I don't. No, I'm not talking about leech. I'm not talking about people who are leeching off you. I mean, as a perfectly sensible thing, like, hey man, I just drove 40 miles to be at your party. My car has like 30 miles of range left. Can I? I just plugged in because I need to get the fuck home. You're gonna be like, whoa, okay. Here's my Venmo account. Send me the money when you're done. Or you can be like, yeah, man,
I
whatever.
think you're overthinking this. I
No,
think we've got
No.
bigger
This is
problems.
going to be a legitimate.
No,
I guarantee it's going to be a
true,
legitimate fucking problem.
But the problem is he's asking this equation. He's asking us to solve for x. Meanwhile, the variables involved is x. W, x, y, and z. I mean, what happens if like you think, oh, he's got solar panels on his house or in his backyard, so he's not really paying it for his electricity. So
well,
it doesn't
legitimately, that
matter.
person may not care.
Right, but what
But they
there's
might.
so many different
Those panels
variables.
They
cost
might.
him an arm
You
and a
know,
leg.
like
Yeah,
what
they might,
happens if
yeah.
you're like, oh, this, you're pulling stuff off my power wall, my battery, and because it's nighttime and I'm trying not to use electricity off the grid. Now it's nighttime and I don't, I'm running my whole house off of my battery. It's going to become like it's a great question, but I think there's so many moving parts to it.
There are a lot of moving
It's
parts, yeah.
it's hard to just answer that.
I promise you, within 5 years, that's going to be a legitimate problem with
I
okay,
believe
let's
it.
example.
And you know what?
We
I
have-
hope
like,
it is. I hope that it is.
Because I need more excuses to not hang out with people.
I know, but I really,
I love you, Kevin. We're right there.
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm saying. Get me an electric car, baby.
uh-huh.
So I'm sorry, I can't come to your
I feel
kid's
like
party because then I'd have to plug my car into your house, and oh my gosh,
My
you have
battery
to save for their college. I'm
only
sorry.
has 40 miles range, and
Yeah.
you're like 19 miles.
Sucks to be me.
Getting too
I'm
close.
just gonna stay here sipping my guacamole, hanging out with my
Yeah.
birds.
Exactly. Oh fuck! You know what? Maybe I will come because some dickhead just drank all my prosecco.
wait,
so.
so my future is sitting at home eating fake avocado recipe based foods,
Drinking
watching
purple
hummingbirds.
prosecco.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna buy a combustion fucking powered car.
Does that answer your question?
No,
Have you made a decision?
It's not a question. I just saying, in a few years, this is going to be a legitimate problem. I
Thank you for
promise
establishing
will.
that,
No.
Mr. Obvious.
Wow! Holy shit. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I mean, you're not wrong.
Thanks for cooling off the room, Kevin.
Okay. The thing is, like,
service.
okay, like I legitimately have friends that live within, let's
Whoa! Dial it back there.
what? I have
You
friends that
legitimately
live.
have friends?
I have friends that are alive.
Well, there's your problem right there.
I'm not talking about the puppets that I'm gonna whip out in a minute. But no, but okay. Okay, how about this? Okay, let's say it's not even friends that live within like a range killing distance from you, okay? Let's say it just becomes a normal thing. Like, I've arrived at my friend's house. I'm going to plug my car in.
See, I don't think like normal use would be something that you would think of. Like,
It's a convenience thing, though. Why wouldn't you plug your car? Like, here, I am parked next to an outlet. Why the fuck wouldn't I plug my car in?
I think just normal use. That's like, hey, do you have any gas in your? Can I top off? I don't think unless it was absolutely useful, like needed. that it would become commonplace until a significant time further where maybe that utility was almost a zero cost because
It's
of
never going to be
renewable.
zero cost because companies are going to take advantage of that. And like I said, my fear is that some company or companies are going to figure that thing out or going to take advantage of that dilemma before we all figure it out. And they're literally going to find a way to make money off it. And I don't want that to happen. Because in my perfect scenario, if you were to ask me like how this should work, I think it should completely be a completely open thing. You pull up to your friend's house, you plug your car in. That's it. It's going to cost them $1, maybe $2, and that's it. And you know what? If you have a party at your house, if you have like a few people that plug in, guess what? You only have so many fucking outlets outside your house. Only so many people are going to plug in. Plus, there's going to be some people who are like self-conscious, like, oh, I don't want to appear like I'm cheap or leecher. They're not going to plug in. You know, it's
What
not.
if fucking Kevin comes and brings a power strip? He's like, oh, don't worry, I got a power
A
strip.
power strip to plug your car in, you're going to start a fucking fire. Like, that's not going to happen.
Also,
it's
Kevin doesn't want to come to your party. He has better things to do.
Right. Or what's going to happen is that people are going to stop putting outlets outside. They're going to basically be like, they're going to put like weird little caps on their outdoor outlets. You're going to walk up to them and be like, oh, I don't know how to take this thing off. I don't feel like asking them. I'm just going to fucking go inside. And
That's, you know what? That's an interesting idea. What if like some random person at your neighbor's house whips out an extension cord and plugs it into one of your outside outlets?
Wait. If somebody plugs into an extension cord,
Well, that's just like siphoning gas out of your
Yeah,
gas
you know?
tank.
Yeah.
I mean, how
That's
that
like-
hap-
but you know
it
that
That's like
happens
stealing
and it's
Wi-Fi from
shitty,
your
Kids
but,
are
neighbor.
going
like,
to
come
do
on.
that.
I
You know
mean,
someone's going to do that.
what
Some
are they
like
gonna
Yeah.
do?
white, like white trash person down south.
that's an outlier. Oh, you said out south? Yeah, that's everybody. Yeah. I feel like that's going to happen no matter what. I think, like I said, I think the easiest way to keep like shitty companies from just benefiting or taking advantage of people and making money off this is just be a fucking good human being. If your friend is at your house, just let him plug your fucking car in, and that's it. Because when you, hopefully someday you'll buy an electric car and you'll drive to their house, and you'll be able to plug your car in. Or if you don't have an electric car, when you go to their house, they're gonna like feed you and give you, a beer or something like that, which will more than cover any kind of exhaust. It's gonna be like a social cost, whatever you want to call it.
Did it really take you all that to get here?
No, it's not about me.
Captain
getting-
The
Obvious.
journey
It's
is
not-
not to arrive.
The real gift was the friends we made all along. No, what I'm saying is that it's not a solution for me. I know what my answer is. Okay, if some asshole, I don't know, I can't think of a name.
Are you trying to
let's
enlighten
just
your audience of one?
Yeah. Let's just
Jerry.
let's just name him Jerry. Whatever. If some asshole named Jerry pulled up to my house, I wouldn't even fucking check on him. I would assume that he pulls his shitty fucking car up to my driveway, plugs it in, comes into my house, and we hang out and do our thing. When we're done, he unplugs and drives home. It wouldn't matter to me. I just hope that other people come to the same conclusion. And I'm afraid they won't. I'm afraid that some company is going to come in and say, do you have leechy friends that come to your house and steal your electricity? Well, here's how you block them. Just pay us $50 a month and we'll make sure that none of your shitty friends get your electricity.
That sounds like a them problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I don't want to deal with that shit when I go to my shitty friend's house.
Then don't go to your shitty friend's house.
All right. Well, you heard her, Jerry. This friendship's dead.
Yeah. You know what, Skippy? You drive to my house and I'll let you plug in.
Oh my god. No one wants to go to your house. Anyway, okay. Is there any more topics we want to cover before we wrap up this episode? Kevin, you spent a lot of time and effort putting together this wonderful list of things that nobody wants to talk about.
Are we up to 16 pages?
Yeah, this is a lot. No, this is great. This is awesome.
Don't touch it.
But
I'd like
yeah,
to touch it.
but I don't think we have enough time to get to it today. We might have, if this is like episode 9.1, we might have an episode 9.2. Nice. Yeah, on the Richter scale. So is there anything else that you guys want to cover before we call it a night? Because, it's been a nice long episode, and I feel we've given our listeners exactly what they wanted.
Listeners? Plural?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything else we want to cover, or do we want to save it for the next episode? Possibly for the epic episode 10.
Ooh.
No, I'm good.
No? Kevin, you're good? I think
good.
Kevin's good. Jerry, you good?
I have chicken calling me, so I'm good.
Okay, so Jerry's hallucinating and is losing his fucking mind, possibly from whatever that purple shit he's been drinking for the last hour and a half.
That's good.
So, Kevin, you know how this goes. We end every episode with like a closing thought, something we want to give to the listener, something motivational, something we want to think about, something we want them to really take away from this, amazing conversation that we have on a regular basis. But I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. Jerry, what would you like to say to the listeners?
I'm going to say, Skippy, you could plug into my outlet anytime.
I am buying a combustion engine. Kevin, anything you want to say to the listeners? Something to make them feel good. Something they can really sort of wrap around themselves, make themselves warm in whatever cold, shitty environment they live in.
Stop wasting time with your lychee friends. Myrmicorns are people too.
None of that is
that
accurate.
Touched me.
But
that touched me.
Myrmicorns are literally not people, though. Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's your closing statement, so I can't take away from that. So, I thought that was
Fuck
very
you,
good.
Skippy.
Okay, I think
That's my closing statement.
I think that's a very good one. Nice, very well done. I actually don't really have a good closing statement. I just want to say that
Hypocrite.
I am a disgusting piece of shit. What I want to say is I think
Is that your closing statement?
No,
You're
I
a
think
disgusting piece of shit.
closing-
Thank you,
Pretty
everyone.
sure I
We'll see you
summarized
next
that pretty
episode.
well.
Wait, it has a
Thank you
part
for
B.
repeating me.
Oh.
I think the part B relates to the last topic that we talked about. Just be a good person. Don't overthink this stuff. Just be a goddamn human being. That's all there's to it. Yeah.
Not a marmicorn. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yes,
You have a thing against
Marmicorns are not
marmicorns.
people. I will not accept Marmicorns in this fucking world.
But
they're not people.
Myrmicorns,
They
they're
should
better
not.
than people.
Marmicorns should not be allowed to get married, nor should they have human
You
rights.
racist motherfucker.
We're gonna end the episode right here, and I promise we're gonna come up with something a little different, hopefully creative for episode 10. But while we're working on that, we don't know how long it's gonna pass. So for now, enjoy this wonderful episode, and we hopefully will see everybody in the next one. Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
All one of you.
Kevin, can we count on you to be back in the next episode?
Maybe.
Oh,
Can I plug in?
motherfucker.
This has been a production of
It's just me.
Studios.